All right. We're gonna just play a little bit of music while we wait out the while we head ourselves towards the top of the hour. We're gonna get a rate in from our friend Chris Fox Music coming up in just moments. And great to see you, okay. Welcome to the show. It's nice to see you in the chat again. We'll be starting in just about 5 minutes. This is very exciting.
Twirls her hair, gives a smile for attention, makes us move and asks too many questions. They lock their eyes and can't get inside of
All right, folks, ready to go? Let's do it. Hey, everyone. Welcome. How's it going, everybody? It's nice to see you all again. My name is Davey. Hope you're having a great President's Day if you're in the U.S. or if you're elsewhere in the world. I hope your day has gone well and hope your weekend has gone well, too. So, nice to see you here. This is the Sandwich Show. This is our variety show we do on Twitch, and it's time for another round of Sandwich Q&A. And joining us for this Q&A this week, a terrific musician. Terrific music. And singer-songwriter out of the U.S., Chris Fox Music, will be joining us via the raid in just a moment. This is really great to see what he's done in such a short amount of time on Twitch. I mean, he only started the streaming about, according to his numbering system, he numbers his streams. So he called this the 83rd vibe, which means he's done 83 shows, which might count. That's not even that's roughly half a year. So in half a year, he's done a remarkable amount here on Twitch, and it's been really great to see the growth of that. You know, it's really cool to see the variety of his music and the kind of music he plays and the friendly vibe he has for everybody in chat. I think it's clear. I mean, people are really catching on to what he's up to in music. So it's really this will be a really fun conversation where we'll be chatting with him in just a moment. Okay, so it has only been 4 minutes. What does that mean? Oh yeah, right on. But it is good. Oh, this is referring to earlier when I was saying we start in 5 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty close. But it's good to see you again, okay? Welcome in. This is going to be really great. And then later in our show, we're going to be ranking some Nicktoons. And I got the idea from Island Vibing Presents. So I'm going to take a moment to shout out Vibing because Chris Fox was on Vibing Show last week, and they were talking about Nicktoons. We'll extend that conversation later in the program, and we'll see what our favorite Nicktoons are. Chris was excited to help rank some of these tunes as well. We'll find out how that goes, and we'll feel out the first part of the show. We'll take your questions in chat in the second half of the show. The first half of second part of the show. First part of the show, we'll have some conversation plus sandwich of the week and all the things. It's going to be a really fun night, everybody. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm drinking a Ballast Point Grapefruit Sculpin. Very popular kind of thing to be drinking around these parts. This is a San Diego brewery. Really good. And all good things. A lot of good things here. Going. Announcements. Okay. So the biggest announcement as far as the Sandwich Show is concerned is that we have extended the Styx Piano Stream Challenge. So you now get an additional 29-ish days to meet the goal, and we're already up to 40% in 30 days, which is really good because the challenge is huge. It's a 500,000 point challenge. I mean, I really appreciate you putting in points for this challenge. So if you'd like to continue that, you can contribute up to 2,000 points tonight in it should be a really fun stream. And thank you, okay. Let's go. All right, here we go. Here comes the raid. Welcome in, Chris Fox. Hello, everybody. So nice to see you. All right, we'll do the raid song. Why not? I predict a riot. Hello, everybody. My name is Davey. I am a variety streamer out of Los Angeles, and this is The Sandwich Show, a show that features and promotes people throughout Twitch and other platforms, and our mission is to promote content creators all over the world, and tonight we're featuring a really great interview with a good friend of ours, Chris Fox Music, who in a very short amount of time has created such a great community. Thank you so much for the follow, the techie guy, and also Evil Love. How would I read this? XVX. Simo13, thank you for the follow as well. And also thank you to Rick Valdo11, who is looking forward to watching this on VOD tomorrow. And really nice to see you all here. LG's in the chat. What's going on, LG? Shout out LG Music, the LG Music. Chris Fox is eating a sandwich. He will be tonight. It's going down. But everyone, thank you again for joining us. Oh, Mrs. Chris Fox is here. What's going on, Mrs. Chris Fox Music? It's great to see you. Glad to meet all of you here tonight. Like Prof. Shoff, nice to see you. Bear Down 11, Kill Clay Station, Simo 13, MV Peebs, Wicked. It's great to see you. And Techie, we mentioned with a follow. Bear Down, nice to see you too. Tina French is back. What's up, Tina? How's it going? And Sevenius has joined us as well. So it's really nice to meet all of you. We feature many interviews with many really cool people throughout Twitch, and I think I'd like to point your attention to what's coming up on the show in addition to our interview with Chris. Next week we're going to be featuring Will Stevens, and the week after we'll be featuring. I haven't updated it yet, but Ink for Life. Thank you so much for the follow as well. It's going to be a great conversation tonight. Ink, I appreciate you. I don't know how it happens. Chip, it's so good to see Chip. Welcome. It's just great to see Chip again. And oh my goodness, Clay Station. Well, that's very, very kind of you. Thank you so much for the gift sub to Mrs. Chris Fox Music. Oh my goodness, it's so great to see you. Mandy's in the chat. Welcome in, Mandy. I saw. It's great to see you again. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Mandy Prater. Let me do that. But let me obviously we should probably. I think the most important thing right now is to shout out Chris Fox Music. For those of you in our chat who did not come in via the raid, I would like for you to follow Chris Fox Music tonight. Thank you for the gift sub, LG, as well. And then Mandy, what can you say about Mandy Prater? Mandy Prater's got a new single out. It's really quite good. And Mandy's a great friend of ours here on the Sandwich Show as well. We've had Mandy on the show too. If you want to check out that VOD, you can head to our YouTube page. But tonight we're hanging out with. I do. I interview Twitch streamers, Evil Love, and we also interview podcasters and YouTubers on occasion. The goal is to really promote what's out there in the universe. Hey, I see Chris has joined us. Let's go see if we can see him in. Okay, let me just copy a thing. We can get this worked out. Just need to 1 second. Oh, this is always exciting. So let me just put this in and. Watch the magic, everybody. And can we get a voila? Oh, wait. The signal just went out. We got a voila, but Chris just went out for some reason. That's kind of interesting. I saw our friend in a second. Chris is gray now. Scissorman, it's great to see you. Thank you so. Oh my gosh, we got a hype train. Oh my goodness. Now, we'll explain what happens in the hype train in a moment, but first we gotta reestablish our connection with Chris Fox Music. I saw Chris for a second, and all of a sudden, Chris has dropped out. Okay, well, it's supposed to be Chris the Gray. Yeah. But anything, do you have any questions as far as about this program in particular? Anyone in the chat? I'd love to answer them while we reestablish our connection with Chris. But yeah, we do. That's quite right. What we do. That is what we do here on the Sandwich Show. We interview fellow streamers, and as we mentioned, like, we can interview podcasters too. In addition to those shows, I also play music, and I also play music, and oh, here we go. I think we've got Chris back. Let's see. Okay, I see it. Chris, can you hear me?
Did we do it? I can hear you.
All right, great. I'm just going to go and copy this into here. And no sweat. We just have to paste the thing, and I just gotta put it over here. We just also do a lot of other wild things. We do like food tastings. We do stunts. Like it's a really fun time. Chris has joined us. Hello. How do I pick
Am I alive?
That's a great question. We'll talk about that a little later. But basically, it just amounts to. Who do I want to get to know on this platform? And I think tonight the answer is our good friend Chris Fox, who has a sandwich. Oh man, do you want to eat it now? We could. That looks so good.
It's not just a sandwich. Let's be honest. Look at this thing.
It looks amazing. Oh, Chris, welcome to the show. First of all, how's it going tonight?
It is going absolutely wonderfully. thank you very much.
Beauty.
Thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Gotcha. You got. You bet. You bet. I mean, I know you've had a busy weekend and such, and we really appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight.
Oh my goodness.
But
My pleasure.
I have definitely enjoyed the very rapid growth of your community, and it has truly been really fun, and everything about it is really great. Like the people in your community are great. I was just talking with Rick, about all the fun jokes he does in the quotes, and all the other people who are in there. Prof Schloff as well. Nate is in there too. Like it's a really great community, and
It is.
I mean it's really cool to see what you do with music. Like it's really great, and your visuals are great. Like if you want to take a look at this again, folks, what a cool looking backdrop you've got. Like I'm very inspired by it.
Thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate that very much. You know what? Sometimes, like, if there's other streamers, I always appreciate when somebody gives a shout out, right? And then I'm going to say this and everybody's going to be like, what a jerk. But sometimes people are just like, oh yeah, give Chris Fox follow. He's a musician here. Great setup. And then like, that's it. I'm just like, all right, but maybe like you want to say something about the music or like, but like, I mean, maybe.
That's great. LG says, what a jerk.
But I am seriously so thankful for everybody, like my community. I did not imagine that there could be this level of support like on a platform like this. I just did not even think that this was going to be a thing. So the fact that this happened at all, I'm just so thankful for everybody. Like, you're all amazing, and thank you for being a part of that too, Davey.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Like it's a pleasure. I mean, I was introduced to you by our friend the LG Music, and I think to a similar extent. I mean, Cover Time Pete also told me about what you do, and I was mesmerized the first time I came. Like I just think it was great. I just think it's remarkable how quickly you've been able to have this setup. Like I know everyone's like joking about the nice setup, but seriously, your setup is great. Like from the audio to the video, and your ability to loop is already pretty much on point. Like I mean, was that always were you already like pretty good at looping before you came to Twitch, or is that something you learned when you got there?
No. So I love that you asked this question because all right, it's something that like drives me bonkers too, and like trying to always get better at it. I'm just telling chat that I love them all because this is I do. Okay. That's why. So I really do. You guys are amazing. You make it so great. So anyway, no. So I started looping when I started on Twitch. I never looped before. I was just a straight up acoustic guy. That's it.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough, like, I mean, it was a rough transition because you start looping and you're like, and not to mention, nobody tells you about like all the tech stuff that needs to happen.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to turn on my TV, much less like do this. And it's like, oh, well, you have to connect it to the virtual. I'm like, oh, you lost me.
That's
so,
great.
Yeah, it's a blast.
I mean, that's really cool that you were able to learn all that on the fly. I want to say hello to Island Vibe and Presents. Can we shout out Island Vibe and Presents? Or Tina, would you be willing to do that? Like, because you were on with Vibing last week, and really, really good times chatting, hearing you chat with our friend Viber. But she has a talk show too. It's really cool to see. It's always interesting to see when a guest is on the same show, like the same guest is on like two different shows within a short time period. But my point is this is all just to say that it's pretty cool that it came. Now, where did you get the inspiration for your neat setup, so to speak? You know, your fake trees, as somebody pointed out, your poster, the LEDs, and all that.
It's a super good question. No, I know this sounds, I don't know. Well, I don't even know how it sounds. So I just studied basically everything that I could. I mean, like when I first started on Twitch and stuff, and I know you were like, oh, the relatively quick growth, which is something that, again, I just am so thankful for of just anybody, like everybody who's here. But I just went on, I just studied everybody that I could. I mean, like with looping, like I'm looking at everybody who was like the big guys that loop like champs, and I'm just like, man, I want to be able to do that. So I'm like, I don't want to copy your style, but I want to like be good at it, right? So like come up
Right.
with my own thing, which is what I try to do. And I did the same thing kind of with the background where I was like, obviously, I know a lot of people have purple lights, but I was like, hey, I see a lot of people with plants. Let's throw some plants in there. We got other stuff in here. Let's do it. And I was like, and then my wife got me this light. And
Nice.
like, I was like, I don't even know about this thing, man. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I mean, maybe we'll find a spot for it, right? I was like, I mean, it's probably like a good spot for it. I put it up and I was like, if I take everything else down and just have this light now, I think I'm like I would need that more than anything else. So this is like the way to go.
I think you're right. That,
thing.
that light is very distinctive. I'm like, that's how I know you're on your channel. Like that light definitely sets you apart. Vibing says plants, and Prof Slop says, "Wow, just copy my answer, huh?" Yeah.
It's true. It's true. These are necessary. This one's fake too, but it's
Nice.
nice. It's like 3 different fake plants. I mean, we went to Michael's for it. Okay, you know it was very legitimate. Yeah.
But you know, on the when you see it on stream, you can't tell the difference. It looks just as fresh to me as it does to, you know, just as any other as a plant would be. Prof Schlaf says something I noticed about Chris is he's a Twitch music nerd. He knows so many people already when they come by. I think that studying has done him well.
I mean, Prof Schlaf, first off, is the biggest music nerd of all time, okay? Because just in general, that dude knows you know so much music and economics. But no, I mean, I spent a lot of time on the platform, and you know what the beautiful part about the Twitch music community is? Everybody's so accepting, and they like all love to get you somewhere. And I think that that's so beautiful, because where do you even find that? Like, where do you even find that? That you have, like, where does that even exist? I don't even know. So I mean, I think I got to meet a lot of people, and people were so happy to show me around and to introduce me to other people and to bring them into my stream. And they made sure when I was starting that I got up and running, and it was so cool. So like, I love that. And I also love, it's crazy because when I get like big raids or something like that, I see anybody who's in the channel knows like I struggle to address everybody in there, but I do my best too to make sure that like everybody knows I mean, I'm here for everybody individually, and I try to get to know everybody on there too. So maybe that, I don't know if that contributes to it or not, but honestly, if anything, it's a testament to how great this community is and how kind everyone is.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, it's true. Like, I think I was surprised. I think we all have been surprised by the level of accessibility everybody has. Even, you know, it doesn't even, in some cases, it doesn't even matter how many followers someone has. It's kind of neat to see that you have that ability to really, to jump in. By the way, thank you so much for the hype train, everybody. I do want to thank some folks. Island Vibe Presents, thank you for the 143. Clay Station, thank you for the 500. And again, thank you for the resub for 9 months, Tina French. LG, thank you for the one month tier 1 gift sub to Chris Fox Music. And Clay Station, thank you for the gift sub to Mrs. Chris Fox Music. So it was really great to give the gift of sandwiches to our good friends Chris Fox and Mrs. Chris Fox. That's really cool. So, you know, I was writing in the chat as you were answering that question. A great setup goes a long way, and I really, Garrett's Music, thank you so much for the follow too. And Nine Angry, thank you for the points for the All Six Piano Stream Challenge. I'll tell you more about that later on. But it's interesting. Ink for Life 20 says, I remember Isis Sings rating you, and I was like, damn, this man can sing and he's chill as F. We can swear on here, so I can say fuck on here. That's fine. But
Perfect.
I know you had a little bit of a challenge with that today. I didn't exactly know whether you were PG-13 language over there, but I'm not sure. But still, that's really cool that people thought that much of you.
It's super cool. I love that. And I know Issa took off like a rocket. It was insane. But I mean, yeah, Inked. I remember when you came over, and I remember being like, well, that's an interesting name. Like, let's see what's going on here. And I think you like instantly gifted a sub or something too. And I was just like, people do that. So it was a really cool thing. And I love, that's the thing too, is like everybody's so unique, and everybody's got something that they offer from a music perspective that brings it to a point where it's like you don't have to worry really about introducing somebody to somebody else. I mean, like, if you want to go raid whoever, you want to give them a shout out, you want to, it's like, share the love, man, because people want to be able to get that music whenever they want. And like, Inked, I always appreciate that. I appreciate the comment too, because that was a while ago, I think.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's been a cool journey, and I think Inked. Yeah, I completely agree. Vibing says Inked is an amazing supporter of Twitch music, and Inked. Yeah, I completely agree. For sure. I've seen Inked around a lot of places, and I think it's really great to see. Kara's Music, thank you so much for the follow. It's good to see you in the chat. Nice to meet you. But yeah, speaking of raids, like, what was that first one like? Or do you remember what the first one was? It may have been a while ago now. So, do you remember any particularly memorable raids, like particularly large ones, and other ones that may have been really fun for you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, oh yeah, definitely. So the first one I ever got was from Kalaska, and it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't even. I don't think it was like a huge raid or anything, but she's super super talented, and I was just like, wow, this happens. Like people raid, and then Gary Lucas Music was one of the other like big ones at that start, and I think that's one of the reasons I actually wound up getting affiliated when I did, which was super cool. And then I would say recently-ish, probably in the past like couple of months, there's been past like handful of months. I don't know. We've just gotten super lucky, and
Yeah.
there have been some crazy supportive like Leon Bratt, Matt Walden, Liv Harris, Carrie Ann. We had Mandy today. There's been, oh my goodness, Sarah. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Copenat. Who's an incredible piano player and just a crazy musician on here. And then there's, oh my goodness, there's so many other ones too. There's I'm losing my mind. But what really struck me about a lot of these, oh, Joe plays violin. Yes, Chapin recently.
Nice.
It's Chapin, and there's others too. But like there's been some that came over. Like Leon rated me twice, I think too, and he
Wow.
even threw like some subs, like 1,000 bits. His community, there must have been like 40 something people that followed and like was so supportive, and they keep coming back. And I can say that pretty much about like everybody who's rated. And there's been so many other people too, and I hate the fact that I'm forgetting stuff because I'm already like, yeah. But it just blows my mind that there's like the communities that these people foster. I'm like, that is so ridiculously beautiful. Oh, Katie O'Flaherty, who is, in my opinion, the best voice on Twitch. I'm not even gonna lie right now.
Wow.
So yeah,
Hi,
I mean,
Ben.
just some really like awesome people. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, that's true.
Andy the Frenchie,
Andy the French rated you too. That's great. You know,
several times. Yeah.
I think that speaks to. I was gonna say that speaks to a great setup.
That's really, it's from the setup. They come here for the lights. They're like moths.
No, it's not just a setup. I'm underselling, of course. The music is incredible, and I think it's not just that like you picked up looping so fast, and honestly, that's really good. I mean, from what I know of, like what I know of looping, it's not the easiest thing to master the timing of that. So it's that plus the variety of music you play. Even though I know your channel has a folk lean, you do play like music from all kinds of decades, everything from the 70s through like 10 like last week, you know, like many decades are covered, with a kind of a lean toward maybe more modern music, which is good. I think, you know, I've seen some Mumford and Sons. I saw some, it's not that modern, I guess, but you know, kind of the last 20 years was covered.
Absolutely.
Is that just what you do?
No.
Do you just have a big variety of music that you listen to?
I do. I mean, like, I grew up, right? Well, everybody knows that. Obviously, I got here somehow. But I grew up with my dad just showing me a lot of music. So, like, 60s, 70s, huge part of my life. I mean, like, there's 2 Neil Young posters in my place right now. I mean, I'm a huge fan of just that genre. I mean, Bob Dylan is my, like, Bob Dylan, Cat Stevens, like, all these people, like, huge influences to me, massive. And then I think that it's amazing to see. I mean, like, obviously I listen to stuff on my own, right?
Yeah.
And then I have the community here who, like, I was talking about this earlier too, who I think it's so cool that everybody goes out of their way to be like, hey, here's a song that either is way out of what you normally do or is very much so it would be something that we think would be a good fit for how you do stuff. And it's super cool because it gives me the ability to be like, all right, let's learn stuff that my community wants to hear, that I can either, as we've kind of sort of termed it, like foxify, or go just kind of do it closer to how it should be, sort of thing. But I mean, like, I know that my song list has grown sizably since I've started, and it's just crazy to see the influence that like the community has on that. And I love that because it's like, hey, you guys get to hear what you want to hear, and then I'll pretty much play anything. Like, I mean, it's really a little bit of everything. It is a folk leaning sort of channel, but I mean, it can turn anything into like a nice sad boy song, but we try to keep it spread out.
I like that idea though. It's a really good idea. I really want to salute Island Vibing Presents who just stepped out. And I want to say thank you again for hopping in for a little bit tonight. It was really cool to see you in the chat tonight, Vibing. So yeah, check out Vibing Show this week too, because I mean, it's always got good content on. That's on Thursday. But yeah, to your point, I think it's really cool, your adaptability, which is probably one reason why the community has grown so much. It's that you're willing to play different things. You played a Tiffany song today. I'm like, who saw that coming? You know, was that a chat suggestion? Like, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So, my chat... So, okay, everybody's gonna hate this. So, I said, because we were talking about genres of music, right? And I was like, 80s... Oh, my goodness. I was like, 80s are my least favorite decade of music. And I was like, a ton of good stuff came out of the 80s, do not get me wrong, but as a whole, I just think everybody kind of went nuts with like synth sounds and just kind of like, you know, went a little crazy. And then everybody lost their minds. And we're like, so what happened was they started implementing this be right back tax. And now anytime I have to go like to the bathroom during the stream or something, just like 2 minutes, I'm gone, make a coffee, whatever. I come back and there's a poll in the channel and there's people voting for some sort of live learn, which lately has been a lot of 80s. Whether I know it or not, I'm playing it. So we did the Tiffany song and somehow then they voted to see if that was going to stay in like the song list. And it was like an overwhelming, it was like, I think it was the most people I've ever seen vote on anything. It was like 15 or 20 people all like yes, just 100% yes. And I was like, all right, it's going in there. And now it's just a bop. Like we all just jammed to it.
10 to nothing, I'm told. Unanimous vote. Wicked says 10 10. Wow. That's decisive. I know. That is decisive. Wow.
I'm coming around to the 80s.
This is the beauty of Twitch chat, though. You're right. Like, once you say that, oh, this is not my thing, then you just get it from everybody in the chat, and they try to prove you wrong. And so everybody wants to watch the VOD. People are sad they missed out. Ink really wanted to see that. So Ink absolutely, definitely.
The first song today.
Oh, is it really? Yeah, I think you're right. So. Yeah, I think that was early in the stream. But that's just really cool that you have that versatility in you. So not everybody would be willing to do that. I think the fact that you can try different things, even things you're not necessarily fond of, that's pretty cool. And so let's go catch up in chat. Like a lot of great comments in here.
Yeah.
Ink says, I think the best thing about Chris is that he's got old soul. Yep. And then
oh, thank you.
LG says that's the best part of being a Twitch streamer. Everyone pitches and contributes to the growth. Yeah, definitely on that. Yeah. And your better half, Mrs. Chris Fox Music, says it's such an awesome community. And Nate says forcing Chris to live learn a dozen 80 songs because of one comment totally not taken out of context.
Savage.
Yep.
Just.
It's great. I know. Wicked has another great point. Rebecca Black, Shakira. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I'm with you.
Oh, the Shakira stuff. I'm still working on that. That is a. But you know what though? Like, you know what? Okay, I'm sorry. I know you didn't ask this question, but I just want to say again, like, the community, like the people who show up, whether it's every time or you're just lurking or you're talking or whatever. I say this every single stream, but I am so blown away by how incredibly beautiful, like the energy that you bring to me. I come on like, cause I work a day job and I hate it, right? I want to do music. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I want to be a rock star, man. So like, I I come on here, and even if I'm tired, everybody just gets me. By the end of the stream, I'm exhausted, but I'm so hyped up every single time. And they give me the like creative liberties to try this stuff. So like with looping and whatnot, there's a lot of stuff. Like when you go practice something, if you're practicing an instrument, you're practicing performances, whatever, you can practice all you want in your bedroom, in your living room, but it doesn't matter at all until you practice in front of people. And there is just something that comes along with that you can't emulate anywhere else. And it's like, I'm not used to that. Like I've done live performances, all that stuff, right? In person too. But one thing, this is the internet. Nobody makes you come to this channel. You stay if you want to stay. So seeing people come, show up, be interested in the schedule, contribute to stuff, just talk with me, and I get to engage in their lives, the energy that they bring and the creative just push that they allow me to do. So like learning looping, everybody's so much more patient with me than I am with myself by a mile. And they're like, hey, we're here to like be here for this. Be, like we're part of this. We want to be part of this. And I'm like, you guys are, it's just, that is what makes, like, that's what adds to that versatility. That's what it adds to the adaptability. It adds to musician every single time I come on here is the community. And I'm like, I always say it, I just want to be something that you guys can be proud of, where you're like, hey, we can put Chris up against anybody. And like, not that it's a competition, but like, we put him up against anybody and we're always proud of how he's going to do. Not to say I don't make mistakes. I do a lot. But I just want to say I can't say enough about how freaking amazing it all is. So thank you for letting me get that out of my system.
Absolutely. And Joey Buttless, thank you so much for the follow. I hope that you I better not say that. I was gonna say I hope your butt finds you, but dumb. But it's good to see you, Joey. Thank you so much for the follow. A lot of great comments from your community coming in the chat. Nate says, there are some song lists that make me think I can teach something and others that make me think I can learn something here. Chris's was certainly in the latter, and then we all tinkered with it. Inked for Life says, plus, who the hell can rock flannel and look that good, for fuck's sake? Yeah.
Come on. Everybody can. It's in the power of the flannel. I take no credit for this. I mean, that's what this, I'm like Samson, but you know, I get my power from my flannel instead of my long hair. That's what it is.
Phenomenal.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Flanomenal.
That's gotta go in your vocabulary, folks. Fox Den fam, like I absolutely would nominate that. Prof Schlaff, I'm not normally around for the beginning of Chris's stream, but the transformation that happens to Chris during his first song is incredible. It's like the weight of the day job falls off his shoulders. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. LG says, it's 100% as someone that does not like to have a day job. And listen, I'm gonna like raise my hand and like contribute to that. Like I also prefer doing this over my day job in a big way. But anyway, LG says, this is one of the many things I've always related to Chris. That's really cool. Yeah. And then a bunch of butt jokes, and then and on and on and on. Dad jokes. The dream of the 90s is alive in Chris Fox. Oh, the
dream of the 90s.
That's great.
My flannel and music. That's it right there.
Great.
Thank you, Prof.
Chris, have you done an all 90s stream yet?
No. I don't think I know. We could do it. We could definitely do an all 90s stream. I'm a 90s child.
Fox fam. Chris Fox Den fam. I'm sorry. How would you refer to your community again? I just want to make sure I get that right.
Thank you. Well, it's a Fox Den. It's the Fox Den.
Oh, Fox Den. Okay, Fox Den.
Everybody in the Fox Den.
What do you all say to that? Let's just see. Actually, we're going to put this to a poll. We're going to find out what people think. I mean,
or you should put it. Oh no! Don't put multiple decades.
No, just 90 stream. Just like yes or no base. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Yes, no. Some people might vote no, but I'm gonna see where everybody is, and we will give you about 3 minutes to vote on that tonight, everybody. Just got smiles. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. And were we not given a choice on the name? I can't speak to that.
You're not.
I can't speak to that.
Nope. Nope, no LG, no choices.
All right, folks. While we get that, feel free to vote on that poll. Is a 90s stream happening for Chris Fox music? You can certainly make a nomination toward it with the poll tonight. Meanwhile, we have two really exciting sandwiches. We got a sneak preview of Chris's sandwich, which means it's time for our staple of the program. As Chris Fox is...
My wife is amazing.
Oh, I love... Mrs. Chris Fox, that sandwich...
Flannel.
Big props.
I'm evolving.
Wait. What do we have over here? We got cuffs?
Shh.
Let's take a look at this. What? Oh.
My flannel? Oh, no. I'm evolving. This is like... See... Sherpa lined flannels, but you gotta get it in the sleeves. If it's not lined in the sleeves, don't even come to me with that. But I had to put an AC unit on for my camera, otherwise it gets angry, and therefore I got cold.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So here we are.
Well, you're absolutely right about that. That material has to be in the sleeves, or else it's useless. Like, what are you gonna do when you're outside? Like, it's just like, right?
It's,
like,
I'm part whatever this is. I don't know. I'm like a turtle, and it's like the shell is connected to their skeleton. That's me with flannel. I know I don't even have any Nirvana on there. Also, that is who said oh my god, somebody just I missed what somebody just said. Somebody is getting bulkier to warn off predators.
Oh my gosh.
And thank you, Phil. So kind.
Phil, that's really great.
And everybody. I'm loving everything. Yeah,
y'all have been really great tonight in chat. Y'all have been very kind. Oh, Nate says they wears flannel but plays no night grunge 90s stream. I mean,
I know.
Oh my gosh, the voting right now is really unanimous. 100% of the people want that 90s stream, Chris.
It could come back though. I don't know. It's a close race. It's a close race, Davey. Let's see if it pays off.
It's not over till it's over, everybody.
Let's see. It's not over till it's over. We got this.
MVP, it's nice to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show. Chris was born with a flannel at this, right?
I was. Yeah.
I think you're right.
When they swaddled me when I was born, it was flannel. That's it. That was my affinity. It was born.
Will there be a dissenting vote in this 90 stream poll? We have a few seconds to find out. We'll find out in a second here. And 1, 2. Wow.
Oh, no, I voted for yes.
And 2, 1. It's 18 votes. 18-0 in favor of yes. Wow. Some definitive ruling there. Thank you very much for participating in the poll, everybody. Wow. That's like...
Wow.
That's dominance. That's Chicago Bulls dominance.
That's dominance.
Yeah. You can stay in the 90s,
90s.
Yeah.
I've been known to play, an all-star. So, there you go.
LG's calling for Wednesday. Well, I'll let the Fox-Den deliberate as far as when that will be scheduled, but it sounds like they want it at least. Yeah, parachute pants, and you must sing "You Can't Touch This."
I can't escape this. No. I'm thinking it's gonna be Creed only.
No.
Can you take me higher?
No. No.
You've done it to yourself. No, it won't. There's no Creed.
That would be. I don't know. That'd be very. I'm just gonna say it'd be very risky if you do that.
I mean, that's true.
Creed and Nickelback.
Nailed it.
That would be. Oh, I don't know.
Yep.
We said 90s. That's like, I mean, it is technically 90s. It's really close. It's like kind of 90s-ish, 2000-ish. Yeah, Ink is not about it.
No. We're not. Don't worry. We're gonna do good stuff only. I don't even know how this is gonna be. All right. You know what? I'll let them figure it out. You've done this to yourselves. You've done this with yourselves. You're gonna have to live with the consequences, all right?
So now we've just unlocked like a 4-hour Creed stream, guys. Like, well, but the Fox-Den will determine. Can work that out. Hopefully, some Spice Girls, says LG. Yeah. Oh man, I really love where the chat's head is at this. Like, but it could be a really fun time. Keep us in the loop, everybody, as far as when that may go down. But our guest tonight is Chris Fox Music. And for those of you joining us late, really awesome musician who, as mentioned, has a very adaptable personality and can take any kind of music you throw at him including cheesy one-hit wonders of the late '80s, and make them into really good music on stream. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Mr. Blobby was '90s. Just ask Miles with that comment. All right, folks. So
Mr. Blobby.
Let's continue the conversation, folks. Everyone in chat's been really great tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And now we're going to get to eat some really good food in what we call here comes the intro, the sandwich of the week, folks. And who better to give us our sandwich of the week than the incredibly foxed one, our friend Chris Fox, with our sandwich of the week. Let's take it away, my friend.
Do you want to know what the sandwich is? All right. It's a surprise to me too. I was gonna go out. I wanted to go out and get like some ridiculous, like, I wanted to make like this just like insane thing. But okay, my wife made this, and my goodness, what a beautiful sandwich. Okay, we have. Oh my goodness, what? It gets crazier as I look at it. Okay, listen, there is bacon on here. There are onions, rings of freshly cut, beautiful onions, lettuce. There's a layer of guac on this bad Lawrence. And it is piled high with the finest of buffalo chicken. Ooh, that is some good and it's toasted. Yeah.
That looks so good.
Yep. It does.
Are you a chef, Mrs. Chris Fox? Like, that is really good. That's a really good looking sandwich. I mean,
She is.
what a incredible sandwich. Now, anything I have to present to you is going to be a letdown compared to that, but I will definitely do my best. So here's what we got tonight. I made a chipotle chicken melt with ham and smoked Gouda cheese. This is my contribution.
Ooh.
Can't go wrong with a melt, folks. And just kind of doing that so they can see it better. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. And this is on what they call shepherd's bread, which is not exactly sourdough, but not exactly wheat. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. It's like angel food cake for bread or something like that. It's really good. This is my first attempt at it. But Chris, this bread is fantastic. I have some kettle chips with it. But let's enjoy. I mean, your sandwich again looks just phenomenal.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's see what this tastes
amazing.
like.
All right.
Going for the first bite.
Like a little ASMR moment.
Yeah, it's inevitable. But
there's a lot of crunch in here. This is gonna be amazing.
For sure.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, yeah.
Oh, man.
You know what? It's not what you would have expected. It's better.
Ooh.
So, yep.
I mean,
We lost some bacon.
That bacon. I don't know what kind of bacon that is, Mrs. Chris Fox, but that looks really fantastic. And now, doing our friends of the grilled cheese community, including our friend King Dan Breaker and many others proud, we will now have a bite of this one, which is our chipotle chicken and Gouda melt with honey. I'm sorry, with the Black Forest ham.
That crunch was nice.
Oh, this is stuff. This is pretty good. Smoky. The way I like it. Things just be there in 27 hours, baby. Let's see. Prof. Schloff says, nice construction. Normally, guac is going to compromise the, roll this back, structural integrity, and yet it held up perfectly.
So true.
Yeah.
My wife was so wise. She sandwiched it between, it's under the lettuce and above the chicken. We're not, and we had good compression. We really went out there, gave it 110%, left everything on the field, made a nice sandwich. I'm going to commend the other team. I'm sorry. But no, it was absolutely excellent. Yep, she did a great job. You were 100% right, though, Prof. It was a risk, and it paid off.
I think that, just like with anything else, like taking risks in cooking can sometimes yield to incredible returns. It sounds like that's what happened here with your sandwich. Like, that sounds really great.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. Oh, this is good sandwiching, Mrs. Chris Fox. I agree. It's a great call. Like, not so much the guac is never a problem, but you're talking about when you talk about the texture and as you mentioned, structural integrity, that is where it gets challenging. And like, I think like the juicier a sandwich gets, the tougher that will be. And but that really held up. Yeah, I'm really that was really really good. Like,
Oh yeah.
props to you.
Structural integrity of a engineer over here.
Now, what kind of a bun is that?
Thank you, Mrs. Chris Fox.
Yes. And Mrs. Chris Fox says,
I have no idea.
Thank you, Mrs. Chris Fox. I'm always honored to hear that. Like, she says, I wanted to make sure Chris had a sandwich worthy of your show. And I felt the same because I'm like, I needed a sandwich that was worthy of competing against that incredible setup. which hopefully this does. Like, hopefully this is visually appealing as the backdrop and Chris's studio, but it's really cool. Anyway.
It's better.
Well, I mean, definitely. And your sandwich is most certainly really, 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 really good. Like, it's really good.
She knows what she's doing.
Mrs. Chris Fox, did you make one for yourself? I hope so, because it's just too good not to enjoy on your own. I mean, it's really good stuff. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, your sandwich sounds so tasty. Yeah, Mrs. Chris Fox noticed the crunch.
Yeah. Oh, well, you have to. I mean, come on. If you have some crunch to
That's
it,
pretty good.
then what are you even doing?
Yeah, LG's right though. There were high stakes in the sandwich. Like once I started to use the sandwich in my Twitch name, I'm like, the rest of it was kind of set for me. You know, it's kinda...
Swallowed the wrong way. It's good. Sabotaging me. The sandwich was too good for one person. It's good.
Just ask Miles. This is making me way too hungry for 3 a.m. I hear you. Definitely. Ink for Life says this is just torture.
This is just torture. I know. I wouldn't want to be watching that. I would be so hungry. I'd be so hungry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. I feel kind of bad myself. I'm like, okay, I don't want to. I don't want to torture people.
I mean, it's only because these sandwiches are so great.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on.
Yeah, you're both evil.
People. No. No, it's inspiration.
There we go. I love the positive spin on that. That's correct. Inspiration. We are inspiring you. Absolutely. Oh no.
I wasn't hungry.
Eat for Life says, I just ate. LOL. Now I'm jealous and hungry again. For those of you who are new to our channel, we have a lot of point redeems that we do, which unlock different types of segments on this program. So if you'd like to take advantage of that, we have you can get redeems for as little as 200 points in our channel chat. So they're just fun little little twists to our program. Nate says, I made dinner before the raid. I knew this would be a problem if I didn't. That's smart, Nate. Nicely done. I was not this smart, says Wicked.
He's not this smart.
That's funny. Oh, man. I see our friend LG's trying to ruin the appetite right now. Being boozled. All right, so we have 2 redeems in. Mrs. Chris Fox redeemed get something from the room. Let's do that. So,
Get something from
oh yeah, Ink for Life says, I thought it was just a name. I wasn't prepared for the real thing. No, for sure. But it's kind of one of those self-fulfilling prophecies, much like your name, Chris Fox. Like, once you have a name like Chris Fox, I mean, you're not gonna have squirrels for your emotes. They have to be foxes. Like, you can't.
They need to be foxes.
Yeah, I mean,
You can't. Yeah, you gotta make foxes. Yeah. You have no other choice.
yeah.
I mean, it's my favorite animal. It used to be a lion, and then somewhere along the way, it turned into a fox. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool with it.
Very much,
Cool
absolutely.
with it. The emotes are a game changer too. You know?
Yeah, they're really
When
nice.
you get your own emotes, and it's like, dang. I got lucky with an artist that I found. I was on Reddit, and I'm looking for I'm like, how do you even do this? I'm like, how do you even find emote artists? And I post something. I'm like, hey, can somebody do something that I have no idea how to even explain? And she's like, there was 30 people were like, hey, I can do it. And I'm like, okay, looking through portfolios. So I settle on one, and she's like, I've actually never done animated emotes before. And she's like, but like we can try. And I was like, you are gonna be amazing. And lo and behold, bam, she did great.
Yeah, if you take a look at them in the chat, folks, like they are fantastic, and the animated ones are very much fire. Literally, in the case of Just Ask Miles emotes, like those are really great. Now, what's the name of this the artist again, just so we can promo appropriately?
Her name is on Twitch. It's Kaora Fudo. You can go to my page if you click on the about of my page and go. There's a panel. And you can click on that for her portfolio. But yes, Wicked just put it in chat. Kaora Fudo.
Oh, thank you, Wicked.
Boom.
Yeah. And LG mentions that LG also went to Kaora Fudo, and Kaora Fudo did a makeover of LG's emotes, and his emotes are now fire. Like, it's really quite amazing, like the work that she's done for both your channels. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She's the best.
Around. I love it. Yeah. Now, is that going to be added to your 80s repertoire?
Honestly, I have to be careful of everything I say. It's like
Nothing's gonna ever
so
bring it
terrible.
down. The best.
It's so true though. I get every single time I say something, and then it's like I'll just like sneak a peek at my song queue, and I'll just see like this live learn get slipped in of something that I said, and I'm like, all right, this is happening.
I love it. But that's just it's a fun time. So for Mrs. Chris Fox, I have this from the room. I found this today. This is like one of the around Christmas time. I think I got sent this, and it was part of like an ornament or something like that. So this is a snowman, and one of my relatives made this. And doesn't this look like Heisenberg though to you? Like, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Can you imagine they describe him like that, and you're like, so Frosty the Snowman was cooking meth? Like, well, they call him the Snowman.
This is the king of the meth empire, okay? Right here.
Like,
You don't fuck with this guy.
which meth are you on, son?
It very much tracks, though. You look at the eyeballs and everything. And
It totally tracks.
I love
It
it.
totally tracks.
LG says, "I am the one who knocks." That's great. I'm so confused. Oh, Heisenberg was like the persona of Walter White in Breaking Bad, and so once he started getting big, like he just like had this cartoon drawing of him with his hat, and then it just said underneath it Heisenberg. So that's where that comes
I
from.
think it's important that we recognize that Wicked has now ruined a song for me forever. You know, Hi Z, the meth man. Thank you, Wicked, for putting those lyrics in the chat. I love you.
Oh, so good. Oh, you never seen it either? Oh, okay. It's a great show. It's a great show. If you have the time to catch up on
you
it.
gotta watch it.
Yeah.
It's one of the highest rated shows of all time.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
it's exceptional. Check it out.
I mean, it's as close as you've ever gotten to a show that never jumped the shark. It was really strong to the end, really. Like, there was moments where it maybe had a lull or what have you, but for all intents and purposes, it was a really solid show through and through. Okay, so here we go. This is the Bean Boozled. So on this channel, we have there's a redeem where you can make me eat this smelly jelly bean, and tonight it's either gonna be this bean here represents either strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish.
Ooh.
So this could be very interesting. Folks in the chat have their allegiances to which one they want me to take. We will find out. Yeah, the LG's called a shot. No, you're not. I'm just kidding. It's all good, LG. Where do you get? Oh, we get them on Amazon. Yeah. Thanks for. I think Mrs. Chris Fox is getting some ideas like for future content, but at any rate, let's go ahead and try this out. Nah, this is dead fish. Damn it.
Oh.
I thought for a second that maybe this is smoothie.
Take a bite of that sandwich. That's.
Yeah. Well, some water first, always.
Yeah, of course. Yep. Gotta wash down the dead fish with water, otherwise, because it's a fish.
This is the one that kind of sticks with you too. It's like this is a tough one. It's a tough one.
Oh no.
Oh,
no.
yeah. Oh, LG actually was sincere with that comment. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's all right, but it's all right, LG. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Oh,
It's definitely a rough one, though. Even amongst the bad flavors, it's a pretty rough. Even inside of the rough flavors, it's a pretty rough flavor. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. Dead fish. It's like Fear
Yeah.
Factor.
yeah,
Bean.
yeah, very much so, Chris. So thank you for the redeem, LG. Nicely done, chat. So back to it. Like the jelly beans that famous company make jelly, but yes, actually, this is the genuine article. This is from Jelly Belly. If you take a look here, they make this brand, and you can get them on Amazon. I'm gonna wash this down with a Mentos.
They're sick. Absolutely sick.
Ink for Life says, so jealous of the Pac-Man. Like, oh yeah. Thank you very much for that. Like, my cousin gave that to me for a birthday once. I'm really happy with it. It's really cool. So thank you. Hey, Brett is in the chat. What's going on, Brett? Let's give Brett a shout out. Mods, can we give our friend Breddington a shout out? One of our good friends in our Sam Fam community. It's good to see you, Brett, and welcome in. So, Chris, I think this is a good opportunity to get our chat to ask some questions of you. I can see you get a lot of questions already on your stream, so this will be an extension of that in a lot of ways. So, everyone who's new to our program, this is what we call America's favorite moment in Twitch broadcasting.
Do the dance. It's time for random questions. Great stuff. Ask us anything.
All right, folks. So this is how we do it. So if you have a question for Chris Fox, the way you do it is you go into the chat, type in exclamation point question followed by the question itself, and you can ask your question of Chris Fox. It's going to be about any topic within reason, and we'll be glad to take it for the next few minutes, and then we're going to rank some Nicktoons later in the program. So if you want to stay with us for that, this should be really fun. Ink for Life says, this could be fun. Tina, thank you for the shout out to Breddington. MV Peep says, if you want to minimize the pain in streamers' eyes, you buy the beans. Yes. Peeps, you know.
I might do it. Do it.
Ink for Life, I'm going to go ahead and link you to the Pac-Man light so that if you want to get one for yourself, like you can. It's not that expensive, so I'll get that to you in a second. It's pretty cool. I think I got it right here. Yeah, this is it. So there you go, Ink for Life. You're very welcome. There you go. So there you go, everybody. Oh gosh, I didn't think it was gonna be that big a link. Sheesh. It took up like half the chat. I'm sorry.
It's legit. That's how you know it's real. It's good. Yeah.
That was a little gnarly. I'm sorry, everybody. Proshloff, is Island Vibe Presents still here to finally learn the difference between I know! We're gonna get to that when we get to the tier list. That was just like, I love vibing. We love you vibing, but I mean, I couldn't even like respond. I was like, I was numb. Like, what? Hey Arnold, Doug, and Arthur, right? Wasn't Arthur the other one? Like the Arthur.
Yes. I mean, you know how the song goes. Do 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 do. Hey Arnold.
Yeah. Correct.
That's
LG Music. Hey Arnold's the one that has the football. Oh no, I know. Oh yeah, So she associated the music, the do music with the Hey Arnold. Like, not exactly.
There was Doug slander in that stream.
Well, I see your point, Prof. Slav. We will address this as we get into our tier list. We have a lot to say about all these cartoons, so it shall be really interesting. I am actually really curious what you all think of these cartoons, so this will be fun to do. First, let's go to the questions and our random questions. First from LG. This one is from Joey, not me. How do you play so low?
That is ridiculous. There's another streamer that we, Joey BG Live, that was on another. I was trying to give him questions to be able to answer that I thought were intriguing based on another music like interview that he was doing. And one of the things that he does is he tunes his guitar down 3 steps. So I said something to the effect of, why does your guitar sound so much lower than a standard guitar? And they were like, because I tune it down, and I'm like, okay. I thought it was a moment to talk about like something as to why would you do that? Because it matches your vocal range, because it's I don't know, like other things like that. So it was a comical thing, and now everybody just gives me crap for it. And here we are. Here we are, knowing that I have not yet escaped it. Yep, there it is.
Well, I do
Thank you,
appreciate your community's attention to detail, including our friend LG. So that I think can be appreciated. That it means they care. So that's cool.
It's a double-edged sword.
That's true. That's true. It is a
You
double-edged
sang
sword.
this song once. That means you got to live learn it now. And I'm like, I love you all and hate you.
I feel that. I do. Like, imagine that they're like, you got to put it in the song list now. I mean, you can't just sing it once. You have to do it like every time. Like, I totally get it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, next up from Evil Love via XVX. Oh my goodness, Smack Talk's in the chat. Smalls, what's going on? Thank you for the 12-month resub. Holy cow, thank you. Welcome in, Smack. Evil Love asks, do you like the Misfits?
The Misfits? Totally. Absolutely. I do like the Misfits. Good. We're talking about the band, right?
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
definitely.
Misfits in general, because I am one, but it's a... so, yes. But, yeah, no, I love the band. It's a great... It's a solid band. Definitely very rock-y-esque, but that fits into a lot of the stuff we were talking about earlier, too.
Yeah.
So if you have something where you were like, hey, you need to play some Misfits, you need to let me know. Let me know.
Oh, I know. I mean, now that you brought it up, now it's like, well, now you got to add like 10 Misfit songs to your song list. Like that's, I feel your struggle on that. But the Misfits are a great band for me too. Like I really like them, and it's interesting like, because you talk about someone mentioned that you're a bit of an old soul, and I think that plays into that too. Because the Misfits are, man, a classic band from the early days of punk rock. Like it's a quality band too. Yeah. So
It's true.
I am curious how you would adapt that to your sound, though, because it's very like electric and raw, and I'm curious, like, how does that get into how do you put a folksy lean on that? I really want to hear that. That sounds exciting.
Dude, we get like weird electric rawness sometimes too, though. I mean, like I have a song that's my song that because I wrote it, and it's super like. It's heavy, man. Like, it is not what you would expect. And then every time somebody requests it, because they come into the channel, they're like, oh, I'm going to request an original, which is like a very, hey, I appreciate that. It's a very nice thing to do. It's very expectable. But then I'm like, okay, listen, I know what you were going for, and this is not the song that you think, like, you don't, it's not what you think it is. I'm happy to play it, but it's very different.
Oh, yeah.
So, but like, so we take the challenge. I mean, we put some rock spin on stuff.
That's
good.
cool.
It's good. Does the trick.
I love that you have that though, because it keeps things fresh. I think so. That's really cool. Yeah, Nalchi says variety is good. You don't want all your songs to be the same. Not that they are, which is right. I agree with that. I definitely don't get that vibe on your channel. Like I don't. Because I know that is out there, but certainly you never have to worry about that. I mean, at least so far from what I've heard, like, it's pretty cool. And Ink says, what song so this is the next question from Ink for Life 20. And the question is, what song resonates so deeply that it almost brings you to tears to hear?
Resonates so deeply that it almost brings me to tears to hear. That's a really good question. Oh man. Now I'm like, I really want to. I'm so focused on like on coming up with. Oh, let me think. Wait, let me think. Hold on. Wait. Please stop yelling at me. Okay, give me a second. Please. No, I'm kidding. There's a few, and some of them are just kind of like some of them are the songs themselves, and some of them are kind of like the emotions behind the songs. Maybe when you were like hearing them, and the kind of the time that you have connected to them. So, well, there's a few. There's one, Animal Tracks. You would not expect this, but Animal Tracks by Mountain Man. That song is, it's just like, if you heard it, you would be like, I don't even know why this is like a thing at all, but it's really beautiful and it has some other meaning for me as well. As cliche as this is, Hurt, Johnny Cash's version, honestly, I think playing it is probably more impactful for me than even hearing it.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
What
then
makes playing it more impactful though? Like it's interesting that it makes sense, but I'm curious what distinguishes it one from the other.
it's it's that when you're playing it, when you this happens to me sometimes, and it's like it's what I try to find whenever I can, and it's just when I get in the zone. Like I have a ton of anxiety just normally, and I always have, and it's always been a challenge for me. And music is one of the only places when I'm playing that there are times where you can get so in the zone that like everything else just kind of fades away. And I know when I'm in it, like I will start to cry. Like it happens to me. It's happened on stream. It happens. And when I like playing Hurt, it's one of those songs that you kind of can't, the way it's delivered, the way you sing it, the way it is like, it's sang with emotion. Johnny Cash's version, like especially, is like, it's not like he sang it to go be like the best singer in the world, right? He sang it that way because all the way that he sings and does that song is he pours all of it, all the emotion into that. And that is something that I really try to do in the songs that I do too, is I try to, more than anything, it's like, even if I whiff notes or whatever, I just want you to have the feeling more than anything, because I think that's what music is really important. I think that's like the biggest thing. If it makes you feel something, anything, that's the most important thing it can do. I'll take emotion over technical ability any day. So like when I'm playing Hurt or something like that, it kind of forces you to get to this place where it's like you can't not connect to it. And it's just so powerful. You cannot not think about just things that have kind of hurt you and just kind of your impact on other people, or maybe things that you wish you kind of were better at, but you know that you're trying. So, I mean, it's just this, like, it is a strong, strong song. And I almost, if I do a good performance of it, you can almost guarantee that I'm teary, like 100%.
That's fantastic. And I think that's such a great way to put it. A lot of great comments, and it is a really great song. I should mention that. And I think the way that Johnny Cash did it really completely transformed the song and reimagined it. And I think For Life has a similar sentiment. Who said, and adding that Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails said that after hearing Johnny sing it, it was no longer his song. I mean, that's powerful. So powerful.
It is, yeah, especially because Trent said it and he was like, it's not my song anymore, which they obviously does a great version of. I say version, but it's Trent's song. I mean, it's not Nine Inch Nails' song, but like that Johnny Cash version is just like, man, they're both good.
Yeah,
but Johnny Cash is like next level, man.
Absolutely. And it's kind of, and there are a number of songs that do have that distinction where the cover is so iconic that it just, that's really the real version of the song as opposed to the actual original version of the song. I mean, it's a very interesting study. I mean, LG pretty much said the same thing. The crazy thing is that Hurt is a cover, but it feels like a Johnny Cash owns it, which, I mean, yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I think it's cool to see that Trent has that same love for it, though. I think that's really the best part. Like, yeah.
It is. I like what Prof Schloff said about it too. He's like, Trent wrote it about addiction and Johnny sung it about life. And I think you feel that, man. I mean, like this dude, like, you know, when this dude's singing it, you can feel it, man. It is 100. It is so palpable. It is just like it's amazing. It really is. It's absolutely amazing. Like there are a few songs I think out there that can actually do that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And it was like, it wasn't even the words as much as it was how he did it. And I think everybody picks up on that, no matter whether they can articulate it or not. They feel it and they know it.
That's pretty phenomenal. Yeah. I'm gonna do a last call for questions. We're gonna do a little bit shorter segment tonight because I feel like we have much to say about the Nicktoons coming up. So if you have a question for Chris Fox, please put this in the next 5 minutes, and then we'll get to them in order. So this is next from Just Ask Miles. If you could collab with any other artist, current or historic, who would it be and why?
Yes, good question. All right. It would be okay. Oh man, I'm gonna say. Oh, there's so many good ones. I want to say Bob Dylan or Bob Dylan or actually Paul Simon, because both of them are just insane at what they do. Like Paul Simon is such like that dude is so. I know he's not underrated, but when you like listen to the stuff that this dude does, like even if you're not a fan of the music or whatever, I'm like this dude can do anything and make it work, and it is crazy. Like Bob Dylan, the amount of poetry that dude does is just like it blows my mind. Just the sheer writing aspect, not even like the musical side, which the musical side of it, like Paul Simon, like just crushes at that stuff. But I mean, like there are I think people throw around a lot like, oh, this dude's a genius. I swear if I have to hear somebody else say Kanye is a genius, I'm sorry to all of you that are fans, but I'm like, dude, he's not a genius. But like this is, when I look at like Bob Dylan, Paul Simon, those dudes, I mean like those dudes are geniuses to me. I mean that's they are, because what they do, if you try to do that, if you really understand and you're into that sort of thing and you try to do that, it is crazy the amount of skill. It's like Shakespeare to me, where people are like, how did he write all this stuff in iambic pentameter? It's almost impossible that somebody could have done this just on their own in one lifetime. And that's how I feel about these guys. I'm like, how do they do this? It's like almost impossible. It's crazy. So I think one of those probably.
Yeah, these are great. These are great choices. Great choices. And I love it. I think it's really, and it also kind of fits your brand too, which I would love to see that. I think it'd be great.
Or the tallest man on earth. I'm not even gonna lie. That dude, to love the tallest man on earth, man. I can't believe I forgot about him. Sorry, not to interrupt you.
Who are we talking about?
I apologize. I had to mention that. The tallest man on earth. He's not actually the tallest man on earth.
Gotcha.
He's pretty short. But that dude, he's like a modern Dylan. It's awesome, man.
Cool.
It's awesome.
Tallest Man on Earth, folks. Check out Tallest Man on Earth too. Prof Softs, Wolfgang Amadeus, Mozart, and Chris Fox come out with the next episode. Mozart and Chris Fox would be quite a vibe. Like that's gonna be really good. No worries, Inc. for life. All good. So let's get to the next question from LG. And I think we can probably wrap this. Well, I said 5 more minutes. I'll allow. If you can get any question in the next 3 minutes, go for it. How did the hats get first incorporated to your channel? Says LG.
You know what? There was like a channel point redeem thing that I think like came stock with something, or it was like an example, and it was like hats off to you, and I was like, oh, I love hats. Like, I have a bunch of hats.
Nice.
There's like, yes, I love hats. Well, like specific hats, like actually like, like brimmed, like all the way, type thing. But then somebody came in the stream and there was no cooldown on the requesting of hats. So they just requested like 2, like instantly. And everybody just sort of stopped and was like, what happens when you request 2? And everybody was just like, you stack them now. And then it just went from there. And then we've had, was it 13 hats was like our biggest amount? I mean, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, and I love it. So there it is. That's how it started.
Wow. What a legacy.
Yeah.
I like it.
I know.
Well, I want to welcome in Stuart Hayek to the chat. Welcome in Stuart Hayek. Now Stuart is a mod for Jillian Hayek, who's a who's also a musician on Twitch, and it's great to see you tonight, Stuart. How are you doing tonight? Hopefully you're well. And let's see, what do we got here? 13 is that's a great number. For anybody in the chat, last call for questions. We'll put in what we can put in the next 2 minutes. LG says, I remember watching Chris once, and then he had more than one hat. They kept adding more. Somehow I felt. Oh yeah, no, we got into that. Yeah, I'm just catching up on chat. I'm a little behind. Ink says, Chris, that is my next one. I want to hear some Lionel Richie from Stuck on You. Like the song Stuck on You? Ooh.
That would be interesting.
It's a-
Lionel Richie.
It would work.
We could do it.
Yeah.
We could do it, Inked.
Stuck on You would be a
Do
good
it.
one.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah,
We'll make it happen. Sure.
I'm with it.
We'll do some Lionel Richie.
Nice. He's got a good buttery voice too. You talk about buttery voices. Like that sounds like a good one.
Exactly.
Yeah, Tina's all about
That's a
it.
good one.
I like it. Tina French is all for it.
All for it.
Cool.
Love it.
All right, last call for questions. Last call for questions. If you do want to ask additional questions during our tier list segment, that's fine too. But officially for this segment, we'd like to get them in. Got any questions? Let's see. Okay. Do you have a favorite Lionel Richie song out of interest?
Me? No.
No?
I can't say one for sure.
Okay.
I'm not like, hey, this is my Lionel Richie. Yes. No, I can't. Nope. I got nothing. I got not for sure.
So let's go back
It's a good one though. That's a good suggestion.
Oh yeah, definitely. Who would be your do you have like a favorite artist or maybe your Mount Rushmore of favorite artists that you would go to? You mentioned a couple, so I wondered if you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Current day best like one right now. Tallest Man on Earth. That's my like favorite one right now. That dude is amazing.
That's cool.
Amazing. And then honestly, it's like Tallest Man on Earth. All right, my favorite artists: Tallest Man on Earth, Bob Dylan, Neil Young, Paul Simon, Cat Stevens,
Ooh.
Led Zeppelin.
Mhm.
Probably some random like alternative bands now too. Or yeah, but those are like. If I had to just like grab my tops off the top of my head right now, that'd pretty much be it. I'd say.
That's a great collection, and you know, yeah, it definitely has a lot of leaning into the classic genre, classic era of rock and roll, classic rock in there. Led Zeppelin, you mentioned them, and Cat Stevens, great singer songwriter. Yeah, these are good. These are all pretty good, and modern. Yeah, I mean. That's cool. See, that versatility in what you selected for your favorite artist is neat. Like that. I think it speaks. You know, you can be a better musician when you know more types of music, and I think you've really got a good feel for that. That's pretty cool. So, we'll go with one last question, which is, what memory always stuck with you and helped make you who you strive to be? This is from Inked for Life.
Oh my goodness. Like just. In general, I think that's a really good question. With music or just in general? Because like,
well, it doesn't have
if
to
it's
be
a
a music memory, I guess. So it could be any kind of memory.
I think all right, maybe it's not just like one memory, but I would say one of the biggest things I think I would say like just in general, it's my dad. My dad is like probably the biggest reason I kind of like grew to be who I am. I mean that dude sacrificed everything for me, and he would. I mean it's really that he showed me everything, and I mean I would say like he led by example, and it's that I've honestly even doing like he's not even like thrilled. He's not happy that I do music. His dad had a different relationship with it too, and whatever, some pressure there. But overall, it was I mean his influence has really it's like the respect that I have for him and just a good man he is in general just pushed me, I think, all the time to just want to strive to like meet goals, to get better at what I do, whatever it is that I do, whatever I'm setting my mind to. Like that dude is where it came from. If he sets his mind to something, like he does it. And I want to be the same way. So I think that's the biggest thing. Even if it's not something that he's like so thrilled about. It's like if I know that I want to do it, or if I think I can, then I'm going to do it, and I'm going to go be good at it. Good enough at it that it's like all right, he's respectable for this sort of thing. So I mean, I think the biggest thing is just the respect that I have for my dad and the way he led by example. I think that's probably the biggest thing that contributed to who I am, like through my life.
Well, what a great inspiration your dad was. What a great example too. And we all see that today. The commitment to when you put your mind to something, you can do just about anything. And I think that's a great attitude. Not de Mellow Fellow says this is beautiful. Yeah, I agree. It was really it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing, Chris. Yeah.
Beautiful moment.
Ink for Life, thank you for the question. And thanks to all of you for your questions tonight. Those are really great questions. Like, I appreciate you sending them in. So one of the things I'm definitely proud of with this program is that we let the chat ask questions too. I think it's really great. So, folks, if you have any additional questions you want to ask throughout the remainder of the show, you're welcome to throw those in as well. But now, Chris, we now visit a topic that was very much in vogue a week ago when you were on with Vibing, who, as we talked about.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So this is our Nicktoons tier list. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Chris Fox. Very, very kind of you to say. I appreciate you. The LED lights make a huge difference. I think that's the one thing in my takeaway for as far as the setup. But thanks so much. Like, yeah, I mean, all the little accents are fun. Like, so I appreciate my family also helping with those contributions. So now let's bring up our Nicktoons list. And folks, this is your time to shine. We will entertain your opinions on all these cartoons. So here they are. And have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Davey, I must say, I'm glad Chris brought me here. Well, thank you so much, Hank. I appreciate you. Yeah, absolutely. We're so glad to have you here. Thank you so much for being a part of our experience tonight. Like, we love you being part of the Sam Fam now, Inked, and feel free to come back anytime. Mrs. Chris Fox, I love your background, but I meant like your agenda and how you go about having your audience. Oh, that! Oh, thank you. Well, that means a lot. Thank you so much. I mean, I make a commitment to that because much like Chris, like, I think it's so important to I don't know, talk to your chat, because like, why would the chat be there if you're not talking to it? Like, I very much am committed to making sure that that you're a part of the show too. So thank you so much for saying that. And Chris, I think it helps that you have such a great community that is engaging in the chat that makes this part easy, and that's what we want to do every week if we can. So very nice of you to say. Thank you.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
They really are.
Aw. Let's see. Nobody asked him about his first pets or his mother's maiden name to get access to Chris Fox's bank account. First fluff sloth. That's good. That's pretty funny.
Yes.
Yeah. Look who's in their chat. Rohoma, welcome in. Nice to see you again. Look, but yeah, there could be some real trolls in chat. one of our best in that field, I guess. But our good friend Rohomo has joined us in the chat. Welcome in, Rohomo. Nice to see you tonight. Smack Talk says Troll Club. Yup. And good. Evil Love is out. Evil Love is taking off. Have a great rest of your night, Evil Love. XVX. I appreciate you. I will determine what that means. XVX. So is that? I'm trying to figure if that's a Roman numeral or not. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us.
It cancel itself out, right? Well, no, it'd be X.
No, you're right. Like when you put the X in the other side of the letter, it's like subtracting from it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So V is 5, right? X
yeah.
is 10. So.
But I'm not used to there being another X. That's why I'm confused. I'm like, usually, or are you subtracting it from that? So it would be like 15 minus 10. So would that be 5?
It'd be 5. It's just a V. It's good. Oh man.
Oh my goodness, Iron Angry, thank you so much. Like, Davey, the best communicator, even when he's not chewing on a sandwich. Well, you're very kind, Iron Angry.
It's true.
It's one of our great supporters here, Iron Angry PFP. It's very nice of you to say that. Thank you so much. XVX equals vegan straight edge. Okay, Wicked. I'm down with that. Ink says, oh, evil thought. So being a 90s stream, you should spike and dye your hair like a troll. Like the actual troll dolls? Oh my goodness.
My wife would be so stoked to do that.
Wow.
I guarantee it. Now you've put it in her head. We're never coming back from this.
Oh boy. Now she's already thinking about it. Yep, I see it.
Nope.
Prof Slav, haha, what could it mean? It must be math. You're right. That was a fun math exercise though. Yeah. All right, so Chris, let's roll through this. I think we should probably suss out the obvious one. So I put Rugrats already
Let's go.
in our S tier, which is called Nick, 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 and then the bottom tier,
Obviously.
Slime It, because that's what you usually do when things you don't like. And then there's a category called Haven't Seen It, because I feel like there'll be a number of these in here. So Stream 100 needs to be a theme. Oh yeah, you're getting pretty close to Stream number 100, Chris. Like you're at 83.
I know.
It's exciting.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's actually crazy.
time flies. Yeah.
It does.
So which of these shows do you want to tackle first? Like, if you just think of it off the top of your head, we can get right to it. Everything's on here.
Okay. All right. Avatar. That's top. That is top notch
Oh,
business
really?
right there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, all day long.
Chris has spoken,
Oh,
folks. So, okay. Any others you want to roll with?
Just top right off the bat. I'm gonna go. Oh, I'm looking. This is a good list.
Oh
Right
yeah, yeah. I'm very impressed with this one.
And I'm thinking. Yeah, well, Doug is obviously very. I mean, Doug and Hey Arnold are like, those are classics, man. I mean, Inked for Life. There was no Avatar movie. Okay, that doesn't exist. It never happened. It's awful. I really do think Doug is top notch.
Okay. Throw it up there. So there's Doug.
I'm going like, top picks and working my way down from there.
And Hey Arnold you mentioned as well. I mean, if no one else, I would have put it there too. Yeah. For me, it's easy. It's a great show.
It's great.
Yeah. Stuart Hicks says I can't participate because I've never seen a Nicktoons show in my life, which is fair. No worries. No worries on that. Almost yeeted Stuart Hicks.
Yeet.
I love it. Yeeting. Okay. Did we cover? So we covered those two, which is great. I put Rugrats in the top tier too because I'm like, I mean, it was like almost the second or third one that ever was made. So yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was one of my top ones ever. What is all right? I'm thinking like, I don't know if some of these other ones are my favorites. Oh, whoa! Danny Phantom definitely is a good one, man. Danny Phantom was a classic.
Now, how classic are we
Changed my
talking?
mind.
Because I mean, it was a solid show. Like, would you say A, B? Would you put it in the S tier? Would you go?
I would. I mean, definitely at least A.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going definite A on that.
Yep. All right. This is great. We've made a lot of progress so far. And anyone in chat, if you have your thoughts on any of these shows, we'd love to take them in your chat. So, I will write Chris. Like, how can you not like them? Wait, which one are we talking about? Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, this is just one. Like, have you seen it? Because we're talking about the new ones that have been up more recently. So, I couldn't tell you in that one. I only know the really old one that's pre-Nick. So.
I mean, I Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was totally okay. The video game. Let's be real here. The video game Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that like side scroller, that was just chef's kiss. I mean, that was like the best, man. But I agree so much though that Ren and Stimpy is simultaneously top and bottom tier.
I love this.
That show creeps me out right now. Like I loved Invader Zim as a kid, and now I'm like, I can't watch this. This is like horrifying. It's horrifying.
It's weird, right? Like, I completely agree with that. But yeah, I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, that was it. That was pretty much it. I was looking at this Legend of Korra question.
Yeah. What
How
was
are you
it?
gonna do me like that?
Legend of Korra question. How does Chris feel about Legend of Korra, though? Oh, that's a great question.
I like it because it's a little bit more adult than Avatar, like The Last Airbender, and I liked the fact that they had a little bit more action. But it's not as good of a show as Avatar. Like Avatar is a better show, but I loved Korra, but it's because of my love for Avatar. So I don't know. This one's out of my hands, man. I can't.
All right. So it sounds like the chat, all those of you in our Sandwich Show chat are probably gonna be leaned on for this, for a ruling on this show. Let me try to find Legend of Korra.
I love Korra. Wicked, no, please. I love Korra. It's so good. I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Holy cow.
This is the lines we draw here.
Yeah. We can put it at B for now. I've not seen this one, so really, it's all up to all of you in our chat tonight to really decide the ranking. Ren and Stimpy's complicated. I think Rohomo had the best comment. Like, it's simultaneously S tier and F tier at the same time, because it's like it had a really quick jumping the shark moment. Like, it was like literally after the first season, like it jumped the shark, and so it's hard for me to really say it's the best on any level, but it was a really groundbreaking show in some ways. But like you said, it kind of grosses me out nowadays. It's like, was it really, you kind of look at it through the prism of time, and I'm like, I'm not really completely sure where to put it at this point.
No. I feel that way about Rocco too.
Rocco's a very good call on that. Yeah, I mean, I loved the stuffing out of that show when it was on, but it's kind of not aged well either. It's a good point. Like,
okay.
Go ahead and keep going on that. I was kind of curious for your thoughts.
I'm gonna fight just for my. If I'm gonna ask anything else, oh my goodness, can we just, for the sake of the safety of my family and future children, put Korra as S tier, and then I'm not gonna say anything else. That's it. That's the only thing I've ever asked of you.
You got it. We're going to move it up to S tier.
Bump Korra up.
I've also moved Ren and Stimpy up to B because even though, like, honestly, it fell off a lot, like, in the next, the final, season or two it was on. But very iconic characters. Prof. Schloftus is big, it's heavy, it's wood, referring to log, which those commercials were funny. Like, I remember that. And SFX Pines, welcome in. It's good to see you tonight. Welcome in, Pines. Pine says, Hey Arnold has one of the best theme songs ever, just saying. Yeah. That theme song slapped. It's a great, that'd be like a separate tier list. Like, the theme songs for the Nicktoons were great. Like, Doug would have been probably top tier, just from everybody knows the do. And Hey Arnold too. Yeah.
My goodness. That was the best. Doug came on, I was like, man, I just want to watch this for the theme song. So good.
Yep.
So good. Okay, SFX, listen, you're going to have to battle that out with the rest of chat. I'm not even going to, I can't. Yep.
It's a very interesting challenge from Pines, who says Korra isn't original. It's derived from that story, and for that reason, I'd give Korra A. I mean, it's completely in the chat's hands. I could not say, I've not seen it, so I don't have. But Pines adds, it's not.
I'd have gone A rank. I'd have gone A with it.
Mm-hmm.
This is my I was final A rank because I love everything about it, but it's you're right. It's not as good. I mean, I didn't say that. Nobody said that. Who said that? It was not quite as good as Avatar, but all right.
Yeah.
I don't know who that was. Crazy.
Love it. Prof. Sloth, banging on the trash can, drumming on a street light, strumming on my banjo. Davey, if I can whisper it, you will laugh. Ink was asking if they could send a dark humor meme of Korra and blood bending. Okay, I'll take it.
Yep.
I'll take it. I guess it's just we're vetting it first, so I'll go look at my whispers and see what that looks like.
I have an idea of where this is going.
Oh no! I'll read it silently and we'll see what I think of it. Action League now for me is really stupid, but I loved it so much, so I think it's an A. But
I don't know that.
It's so dumb. I loved it.
I don't know that one. What was that one?
It's basically like they took action figures and they kind of animated them with stop motion.
Yeah, I remember that now. Wow, that's a throwback.
Oh yeah, big time throwback. Yeah. All right, Ink's comment. Let's see. Oh, I have to.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's an image. Let's see.
You're gonna be
Let's go. Take a look at this.
Melt Man, Joey, classic, absolutely classic. Kablam was classic.
Oh man, I'm getting a little worried. This is taking me to redirect. Oh, there we go.
That's right. It was a skit on Kablam. That's why I remember that.
Okay, that. Yeah, I can't put that on the screen.
That's what I. Okay, then it is probably
I can't
what
put
I'm
that on the
guessing.
screen, but that was pretty funny. Ink for life. I appreciate you. Even with the 18+ tag, I don't think that would have worked. Mrs. Chris Fox says, I loved Kablam. Oh, Kablam. Yeah, what'd you think of Kablam?
I loved Kablam.
Nice.
The skits on that. I mean, that was like that whole thing for like kids at that time too. I mean, like that was the thing. That was pretty great, man.
I guess we say A, right?
I'm gonna say A. I'm gonna say A.
A is good.
Yeah.
What were those two hamster brothers in Kablam? Mrs. Chris Fox, would you have an answer to that? That's a good. I don't remember the names of those characters. Kablam was a shiz. It was though, for sure. I love Kablam too. Big fan. Okay. So let's. What other ones off the top of your head do you remember that we could rank immediately off the bat?
I'm gonna say okay. Fairly Odd Parents.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, dude. I'm gonna have to go with like an A on that. I loved that, man. I did.
It's
Even
one
just
of
for
my
the theme song
favorite.
alone.
It's so dumb, and I loved it. It's
It's great.
big time A for me. I love this show so much. It's such a great show. So funny.
It's gotta be.
It's extremely, and it just leans into it. Like I completely agree with you. Great call.
Yeah, need it.
All right, Chris. Chris Fox is joined us tonight. Chris Fox Music. If you're wondering if you're joining us late, Chris Fox Music is an incredible musician on Twitch, and we're really great to have him here as our guest tonight. And we're ranking Nicktoons. So if you missed our conversation earlier, you can catch our VOD once we've wrapped our program live. It shall be here on Twitch for you. Let's see, Mrs. Chris Fox. I watch Fairly Odd Parents reruns. No shame. There should be no shame in that. It's a great show. Like, I loved it. Okay. So yeah, anything else?
Yep. Oh man. I'm scrolling. Okay. Inked. That was something, man. It was exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, you saw the thing too?
I did. I saw the thing, man.
Oh, it was something. Would that be okay
Cat
for
dog.
your
I was
disc?
gonna say cat dog.
Cat Dog. Okay, let's go to Cat Dog. Simo 13 says silly and wholesome, referring to Fairly Odd Parents. I love that Simo. Yeah, or Simo. I appreciate you. Yeah. So Cat Dog. Cat Dog was okay. I thought it was fine.
Cat dog was good.
Would you say B or A?
It's tough because part of me almost wants to go A, but I guess for the sake of where it ranks among these other things, I liked it more than Ren and Stimpy. But all right, we can go. We can go B.
Well, I
We can go
mean,
B.
I think the thing that's tough with Ren and Stimpy is like I'm also factoring the historical significance of the show, but yeah, I mean, I originally had it
True.
here, but it's weird. It's a weird one. Like I kind of want to I just want to have the two copies of it and put one here and then one at the bottom. It's kind of both.
Right? Exactly. You just double it up.
Yeah.
Which I feel like Angry Beavers could probably follow Cat Dog too.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
Mandy. We've
Oh,
upset it-
yeah,
we've
yeah.
upset Mandy.
That's really cool. Hey, Mandy's in our chat. Hey, Mandy, we're good to have you. Mods, can we shout out Mandy Prater in our chat? It's great to see you, Mandy, singer songwriter. Mandy Prater has joined us in the chat. So good to see you tonight. And Cover Time Pete has joined us. Hey, what's going on? Who says, hey, Davey and hey, Chris. Hello, Cover Time Pete. It's really nice to see you tonight. Shout out to Cover Time Pete, too. Like, Cover Time Pete really, I think, is very connected in the Twitch world. And between him and LG, that's how I found you, Chris. Like, it was really great. I really appreciate both of you for introducing me. Let's see. And we're ranking Nicktoons right now. So, now you mentioned Angry Beavers. So, were you saying, like, it would be B?
Man, the thing is, I'm looking at these and I'm like, I realize now that most of my thought process among this is like, it's just it's just top tier or nothing. Like
Oh,
that is
yeah.
apparently all I have.
There's nothing in between.
And I'm like, yeah, all right, we can put him there. We can put him there.
Okay.
It's fine.
Now Mandy said something was blasphemy. I'm trying to figure out what cartoon she was referring to.
I think it was Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah, it's complex. It's complex. It's so complex. Like, especially if you just evaluate like those first 13 episodes, like that was like brilliant stuff. But then it kind of came off the rails after a while, and then I don't know. It's hard for me to really get into. I mean, I respect that opinion highly, Mandy. Oh, I see where you're going with that. Like, how could you have the audacity to put Cat Dog over Ren? Okay, yeah, I see that. I see that. This is.
I mean,
it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Everyone wants a log. Mandy loves that show.
it's true.
It's true.
It's like the dude with like the nipples and like there's just some stuff on there where I'm like, what is happening right now? What? I can't.
Pints' buttered toast
but
man. The Christmas fart. It's better than bad. It's good. Do 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 do. And yeah, I remember very well. All right, we're gonna keep rolling here. Okay, any others that come to mind? Because we have a bunch here.
Okay, we could probably put Invader Zim where like I'm gonna put that in like C.
Okay. That's for me. I mean, from what I remember of it, I think it's very reasonable. Definitely.
I would have rated it higher, but
I think I do remember that. For homeless, remember the video game Vidiots? I think that was like a game show where you played video games or something like that, or is it something else? I don't remember. Yeah.
Johnny Cash is my heart. Oh no, Simo, why? Invader Zim being low? See, this is dangerous. I can't rank stuff. I'm gonna offend people. Okay, I loved Invader Zim. At one point, that was like one of my top, like, it was awesome. And then I watched it again recently, and I was like, okay, I can't do this.
Oh, I gotcha.
I am horrified.
I did not know they had a video game, Homo. That's crazy. Ren and Stimpy video game called Vidiots. Like, they actually had a video game. It was awful. I loved it. I missed out on that one. Let's see. Mrs. Chris Fox. I was surprised you ranked it low. Wow.
I know, but we watched it together, and I was like, okay, this is I'm gonna have nightmares. I'm like, how did I watch this before? And I just like didn't feel that way, like a child. I'm
Yeah.
like, what? It's crazy. Off of childhood rating or present adult? I don't know. It's hard not to do both. It's both. It's both. That's it. That's my answer.
Fines says, Inked for Life is with regard to Ren and Stimpy, farts and nipples, and Pine says that's the best description of the show. Yeah, that really is. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Kind
true.
of. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else can we run with here. So you mentioned Rocco's Modern Life. This. I definitely loved the show a lot when I was young, when I was like a kid, like, you know.
Yes.
But you're right. I think, and people are asking, are you evaluating this as what it was like as a kid, or just evaluating it as an adult? Honestly, the answer to that question is I'm just evaluating it in general. Like, I mean, certainly if you enjoyed it as a kid, that's great. But I think when you watch it as an adult, that's when you really find out how good the show was.
That's true. That's true.
So I guess it's adult, but
I mean, I feel like it's gotta go. Rocco is S tier? I don't know, man. I don't. Evaluating as a kid, then Invader Zim would have been way higher. But you know what, Rocco, I gotta put Rocco. Fine. If Ren and Stimpy's a B, then Rocco's gotta be a B. I
is
can't
tough.
give it an S. I can't do it. I can't.
I mean, when I will say when I was like 8, I thought Rocco's Modern Life was S tier. I definitely did.
It was up there.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Hey, Jamie's in the chat. Welcome in, Jamie. Thank you for the 18-month resub. And come on down. We're ranking Nicktoons at the moment with our good friend Chris Fox Music, and Shout out to Jamie. What's up, Jamie? Good to see you again.
Jamie.
Chris can't do it. It's, yeah, I don't know. I really would. I mean, I think the chat really does like Rocco's Modern Life, and
I
so
know.
instinctively I would put it at least A, but I don't know. It's
Simo, really digging this perspectives and how wrong some are.
that was great. We do have the community
Thank
to
you,
do these and
Simo.
share. Yeah, no, very true. Very true.
I'm like scared now.
LG Music loves
People are like,
Grace, is Jamie's. Oh, Grey's Anatomy.
Loves
Of course,
Grey's?
absolutely. Very much so. Actually, that's quite right. That's quite right.
That's a great 90s tune.
By the way, Chris, this is not on topic at all, but Grey's Anatomy, would you say S, A, B, C, D, or F, or have you not seen it?
You know what? I'm not a fan of like medical
Okay.
show stuff. I'm not. Everyone's gonna hate this. They're gonna hate this. But I'm just not. I get like, I feel like they're all super similar, and there's always like some. It's like, oh no, we have this new case that we can't figure out, and then it's like, I'm just gonna talk really, really fast and chew through dialogue and be like, what about this? What about this? What about this? And then this, and then it's just like, I'm like, okay, I'm good, man. Like it's the same thing. And then so they have a breakthrough like 4 episodes later after there's like 2 romances between 2 surgeons, and then like it's like, oh my goodness, I don't know. Nope. So I'm sorry.
That's
I
funny.
don't know. Do they have medical cases? Do they? I don't know. Wicked? Is it like House? Is it not? Clearly, I don't know it that well, but that's the thing. Anything that says anatomy
Yeah.
right now, I'm like, psh. Chris is actually describing his college life.
That's great. Rahama says, but McDreamy. Yeah. Jamie's right, though. Grey's is about love. There's a lot of, it's like General Hospital, but like more exciting, I think. It's kind of the way I see it. So, yeah, it's definitely about love.
Am I
think.
wrong? Is it not? Do they not have medical stuff? It's medical, right? Like
It isn't, it is about a hospital, but they don't really cover the actual medical stuff on the show too much. It's really more about like relationships and so on. Who said that? Pine says medicine is the last of their priorities in Grey's.
well,
It's great.
I don't know. I'm sorry to everybody else too. Everyone's like, you know what? I hate this.
All right.
I just can't.
I hear you. I hear you on that. I mean,
You know?
yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the list. And Jamie says, "Is Doug now on Hulu now?" Meaning, is it like a new Doug, like a new reboot of some sort, or is it like the original series? That's a good question.
But they can't reboot old shows. That makes me, because Ink said it earlier though. He's like, you know what's scarier than the shows before? The shows that are for kids now. I'm just like, I'm watching stuff and I'm like that. They are scary. They're scary in ways that the other ones were not at all. It's just like it's a weird thing now. I don't know. It's weird. Stuff has changed. Stuff has seriously changed.
Well, that's a
Oh,
different.
Samurai Jack though. Man, like that was some good stuff, man. Let me tell you.
Is that on here?
Anyway, totally.
Or is that something else?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what is on here. Rocket Power is on here. Let's go see what your take is on Rocket Power.
Rocket Power was good. It was good. I'm gonna say A.
Okay.
I don't know if I can put it in S though. I just don't think
I wouldn't put it in S.
can.
Yeah, I mean, I watched enough of it to say no. I wouldn't exactly put it in
Dexter's
S.
Lab. Yes, FX.
Except
would-
that
that would've
that
been
is
S.
that's a Cartoon Network show. So we're
Oh, that's right.
someone. I think it was Inked or someone else had asked about Animaniacs, which was a Warner Brothers show, which is
That's
which
right.
would be a separate tier list, but I think either of those would be S tier for sure. Like Cartoon Network shows would be a really good tier list. We'll probably do that one later on.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Squid was a gangsta.
Just
Yeah.
for the fact that like that show introduced squid, like just the word squid was a big deal, man. Like then you just calling people squids. It's just that's still around.
Yeah, dude, they were a riot. Now, Pine says that Rocket Power is S tier. I don't know about. I'm not. I mean, definitely. I think A is solid. I just don't remember it enough. I mean, Jamie says I never watched Rocket Power. I never really watched a lot of it. I remember the theme song, which is okay. It's a kind of a
Vegemite sandwiches.
yeah.
Good old Tito.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we have. I just try to get the low hanging fruit off here. So Wild Thornberries is another one that's kind of a similar time period to Rocket Power, like when it came out. I don't have a lot to say about it. Do any of you have a lot to say about it? Like, cool concept, but kind of wasn't my favorite, I guess.
I mean, I agree. It wasn't like my favorite. It was just kind of like, hey, the Wild Thornberries is on. I'm like, you could
Yeah.
be doing more with this. You could be doing more with this. Come on. But you did get Nigel Thornberry out of it. And
Yes.
let's just all be honest right now. That was important. Like, smashing. Like, just, oh, amazing.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give it to Nigel Thornberry. He was a character. So, it's the MVP because I was an animal lover, so yes, but not a big one, so C for me. Yeah. I think C or B would be fair for this. Cover time piece is smashing. Love it.
Full screen Nigel impression, please.
You got it, Joey. Let's do it.
Is it all right? Do we have any like straight up fails? Like straight up just like this is trash.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
I can
didn't
think
mean to
of
jump
one.
the gun. Yeah.
I don't actually. I think the problem is like the ones that I think are straight up fails are going to be the ones that other people are going to be like, oh my God, this should be S. But so
That's true.
it's going to be interesting. But would you be interested in entertaining a full screen Nigel Thornberry impression for our audience?
I cannot do a Nigel Thornberry impression. That's all I had was smashing. That's all we've got here. I have nothing else to offer you. And other like weird noises that he made, and that was about it. No,
Mrs. Chris Fox says yes,
no.
you can.
No. There is no. That is the maximum we got. That is the maximum. No way. I got nothing else for you.
Just do smashing.
I already did the smash. There's too much pressure. No. Nope.
Wow. All right. Chris has spoken. There are a lot. Now we're kind of moving into the territory of cartoons that I think most of us probably aren't familiar with, but I will knock a couple others out. Smurfs, just out of principle, I have to slime it. Like the original Smurfs was trash. Like I think any variant of that, I'm sure, was equally trash. So I'm not about it.
That's nope. It's a nope.
Big nope.
It's gonna be a nope from me, dog.
Love it. Is there another Jimmy Neutron? Like there's two Jimmy Neutrons, or did we just? No, I guess because I get them confused with other things. Where would you put Jimmy Neutron? This is interesting.
It was one of those shows I feel like I wanted to like more than I actually did.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't dislike it, but I wasn't like, oh yeah, Jimmy Neutron, let's go. Yeah, I mean like pretty much where you're at, I guess. That's
This seems good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Inked Gargoyles was so good, man.
Was Gargoyles Nicktoons? It was
don't
good.
know.
It was pretty
Can't
solid.
remember.
If people don't know Darkwing Duck, we can't be friends. No, so that's Disney. That's going to be I love the ideas. Like Disney cartoons from the 90s tier list is going to be a really, really, really entertaining tier list once we get to that one. Jimmy is S tier all day. Hands down S tier, says Pines. Huh. Does anyone else agree with Pines' assessment? Like, I mean, it certainly wasn't bad. I just don't. Again, this is not fair for me to really even rule on this because this is a little bit after my time. So, hey, I don't judge. You made me think of all these FFS, so I can't help it. No worries. Gargoyles was very good though, just for what it's worth. Like, it was a really good show.
I love Gargoyles.
I'm gonna try to catch up on chat as best as I can. There's a lot of stuff just came in here. Prestige, welcome in. Nice to see you. Donnie was too hyper for me. Was exhausting. Donnie, are we talking about
True story. Wild Thornberries.
Oh yeah. Wild Thornberries. Okay.
I feel you on that. He was. All these noises.
Simos is the list I'm waiting. Well, I'm glad you like it so far. I'm gonna move Jimmy Neutron up to A. I mean, definitely it's a recognizable character, so I think I'll give that.
All right.
Ramos says, "What? A controversial tier list?" Yeah, I know. It's on brand for us. Cover Time Pizzas. Nah, Danny Phantom and My Life as a Teenage Robot were amazing. Yeah, I think that's good. My Life as a Teenage Robot. Where is it? Let's go put that up there. I cannot find it. Maybe is it here?
Bottom left-ish.
Oh, I am looking there. Bottom leftish.
Yeah, you got it. It's that purple and blue.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Yeah.
This looks cool. Yeah. All right. So, anyone else with a accepts Davy's choice while grinding his teeth? Well, I think that's I appreciate the compromise. Pines has strong feelings, says LG. Yeah. Jimmy Neutron was S, says Cover Time. Oh wow. Okay, so let's do a poll for the Jimmy Neutron. As I mentioned, like a lot,
yeah.
we definitely would like to lean on your opinions for this one. So Jimmy Neutron, it's not going to be lower than A. I think A and S, either of those are fair. So we'll say S tier, A tier, and we'll see where everybody lands on it. I give everybody 2 minutes to vote, and let us know. Can there be a lower than A option? No, I think we'd have a decent consensus. It's at least A. I think A would be pretty good. Although I did say B in the beginning, but I think A is fine. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any others? Part of me favors the concept of the shows more than the actual show. Right, and that's kind of where I was with the Wild Thornbears. Like, it's a good concept, but the execution was kind of dull. Like, it didn't really take for me, and that's kind of why I have it at C. Okay, so the one that I just have no interest in whatsoever, and the chat is going to be the decider on this, but for me, before I just give my opinion of it, I would like to get your opinion of Real Monsters if you have one.
Yo, I love that show.
Okay.
I love that show. It's weird and gross, but I love it. I have no idea why I love it so much. I can't even defend it, but I have definitely love for this show. This is like a top show for me.
Really?
Top show.
Okay, so we were really on different sides.
I didn't even see that coming. I had no idea.
I was like, I every time it came on, I would change the channel. Like, I never liked it, but I didn't think it doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad show. It just mean I didn't enjoy it. But
Yeah,
I think interesting. Rahomo was on is feeling similarly. Okay. LG Music says it was a weird product of its time. Yeah. Yeah, definitely on that comment. I remember watching the...
I don't know.
Well, Pines, you remember the premiere? Wow, that's wild. I haven't ever heard or seen some of this. It was so weird and bizarre and strange. Yeah, for sure. But Chris is all about it, which is cool. Okay. So, that's interesting. So, oh no, we have a tie in the Jimmy Neutron poll. Oh boy. We have 10 seconds to break the tie. Oh, wow. Somebody came in at the end with A. Wow. Thank you for bringing the tie. Okay, so we will leave it at A. Wow. No, I respect your opinion very much. Like, it's unique. It's different. It was definitely, like, as mentioned, it was a product of its time. Completely. I love your point. Like, it's a great point. Joey says, Real Monsters taught children bravery, an institution impeachable.
It's true.
That's cool.
It's perfect.
All right. Irene, what's going on? 805 Hype? Thank you for the 17 months. So good to see you. Welcome in. We are here with Chris Fox Music. It's so great to see you tonight, Irene. Hope you're doing well, and hope your weekend's gone well, too. We are ranking Nicktoons tonight, so if you have any opinions on any of these, we'd love to take your thoughts. And can anyone in our chat give a shout-out to... Oh, thank you, Rahomo. I appreciate the shout-out. Irene says it's Chris. It is indeed.
It's Irene.
Chris,
Irene.
I love it. So I see that you know Irene. That's great. Irene is a singer-songwriter out of Seattle who's been a really big part of our Twitch community and hosts the New Tune Showcase and also organizes the Together Whatever Stream Fest, which is really cool. So it's great to see you again, Irene. Hope you're well. Ink for Life says, so Davey, do you remember the Torkelsons? I remember a little bit about the Torkelsons. Do you remember the Torkelsons, Chris?
No, not at all.
Okay. I kind of remember the Torkelsons.
Torkel and all his sons.
Yeah. It's not Nick, but just wondering. Oh, okay, yeah. I do remember a little bit about the Torkelsons, but I would love some opinions on All Real Monsters because Chris and I are completely different sides of this one. Like, I just wasn't into it. Chris loved it. So
I can't even defend it. I can't even defend why I feel that way.
Interesting.
I just do.
interesting.
So
Yeah. All right. So we'll leave it at C for the time being until chat makes a move to either move it up or down. But 17 months is a really, really long time. Thank you so much, Irene, for your continued support of the Sandwich Show. It's really kind of you. Real Monster should be S is LG. Oh my gosh, S? I don't know about that. S is that's a letter. Wicked. Okay, so Wicked says Real Monsters is better than everything in the B tier for sure. Okay. Pine says it's decided All Real Monsters is S tier. I feel Pine strongly. Pine's had some strong opinions tonight. I've never seen Pine so fired up about anything on this channel. Like this is really inspired our friend Pine tonight. Like this is Monster should be ARS as Mrs. Chris Fox. Well, I'm not going to argue with Mrs. Chris Fox either. So
it's a fool's thing to do.
all right. Well, there are 3 votes for S. There was 1 for A. I'm the only one that says slime, so I have been outvoted. I'm gonna put it up here.
I suppose.
Cheers to you, everybody. There we go. Joey loves it too. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't want people to be unhappy. Like, we don't run a tyranny on the Sandwich Show. It's very much a democracy. So we want to serve you all. Okay, so next we have. Now we're gonna get into a lot of these, which we just don't have any opinion on. But before we do any of that, an obvious choice. Let's go back to the tier list. SpongeBob SquarePants. I mean,
dude, first 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
OG Bob is just top notch, man. Just OG Bob though. After that, it's the worst. It's the worst after that.
Oh, interesting.
Up till that point, defining some stuff in a generation.
So this is a very similar parallel to the Ren and Stimpy, but over a longer period of time. Where Ren and Stimpy, it kind of fizzled out really fast. Like, it just kind of became stupid, like really, really, really quickly. Here, it kind of occurred over about a decade. And it's still on, I think, which is...
I think it is, and it's awful.
I've heard.
Awful.
Yeah. Resentful S from Joey. He is Nicktoons, but wish he wasn't. That's what's really funny about that. It's like, we talk about historical significance, and that's kind of like, but this is hard. And Ink says hate it, and stupid
like Fran
effing
Drescher
show.
from Nanny.
Wait, who happened here? His voice is like Fran Drescher. That's really great. From the Nanny. It's fucking brutal to watch and hear. It's fair. Pine says, I want to say A tier because of how much SpongeBob was a marketing ploy. It worked. It worked, didn't it? It worked. Prestige, as an adult, I can relate to how Squidward feels.
Oh, man.
That's
Every day
true.
that goes by, I'm like,
That's true. That's
it's
true.
like, dude, just leave me alone and let me play some damn instruments.
SpongeBob gave us the
stop
best
bothering
memes.
me.
That's true. See, this is hard. Because SpongeBob is an institution. It's like, oh, by the way, I do want to thank you. I really want to thank your wife, Mrs. Chris Fox, for recognizing the name of the S tier. Nick was absolutely, definitely a nod to the themes, the old jingle he used to do. Yeah.
Nickelodeon.
You can still hate institutions. Yep. No, absolutely. Squidward says Squidward is me. That bro gonna lose his shit one day. I know.
Like when he's trying to sell his house and they're just being absolute morons outside his house, and I'm just like, dude, this is my nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
I feel you. Although there were some beautiful life lessons in there, like how to tie your shoes, right? I already knew how to tie my shoes at that point, but Ween, the band Ween, if anybody doesn't know them, it is such a ridiculous band, and I love them for reasons. They did like at least 2 of the songs in there, and I was like, yo, I love that. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Having that moment. It's
It's just tough. Like, it's like, yes, he is an institution, but I love the comment from Wicked that says you can still hate institutions. I really appreciate the chat being as honest about the show as they can, because it's simultaneously iconic and like annoying at once. Like,
I know.
it's hard to just, how do you rank that? Like, it's hard. Like you said, the first 3 seasons were good. Like, it was good. It was good television. Like, they were really funny. Like, since that time, it's just not been great. It's just been like a meme on top of a meme on top of a meme. And Rahom was right too. Like, it generates the greatest memes. That's because the whole show is just a meme. Like, it's just like, it's not much of a plot at all to most of the episodes nowadays. So,
There's no plot.
yeah, it's so. Joey Buttless, Nickelodeon thought they'd gotten a Mickey Mouse or Kermit, and they ruined any affection anyone in the audience had for SpongeBob. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's a good way. It was kind of like Nick's Kermit or like Mickey Mouse. It's true. It was like the flagship show of Nick for a while.
It
I
was.
mean, like, absolutely. And now I'm just like, man, you guys messed it up. You messed it up.
Yeah,
man.
it's but a shell of itself now, and kind of, and yeah, I mean, LG was kind of going to a similar point where he says, kind of like The Simpsons and Family Guy, they started strong and have been around for so long that they are no longer relevant. Yeah, great points.
Still making.
They still make both shows. And The Simpsons is just ridiculous. It's like, no, I don't even know if anyone's even watching anymore, but it's still on after like 3 decades.
Like the longest.
Yeah.
No.
Did you realize South Park's like in its 25th season now?
I know. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, they have endless material too,
Yeah.
because they just make fun of like pop culture reference
Yeah.
stuff.
I think from that standpoint, they probably still have life. So I'm not going to be the one that plays Debbie. First of all, South Park characters are really great characters. Like, for sure on that point, Chris. I'm with you on that. Yeah. LG says South Park is still good though. Right, because I think making fun of pop culture will never be outdated. So I think,
I'm not even a fan of the show necessarily, but there is stuff you cannot deny is like iconic from it.
absolutely. Exactly. Yeah, and Fine says I still watch South Park for sure. They somehow broke the cycle. Yeah. It is remarkable because you would think that would go stale too, much like The Simpsons did, but somehow they've made it work. It's kind of interesting.
And it's like the only show that cannot get canceled for some reason. Like, no matter what they say, no matter what they do, somehow they get away with everything. I think that's crazy. It's like a wild thing. It's the only show I can think of that can make fun of such sensitive topics and not face just being shut down.
It's really
very interesting.
That is very interesting, and they were getting close when it started, like the first year. It's like even like 9 times that now. Like, the ability to do that is crazy. So props to them. Like, good on them for making it through all that. The Simpsons, I never think Mo was the most intelligent on there. Got into. Yeah, I mean Mo was South Park's Tom Cruise and Kanye. Oh gosh, I don't even want to. Do we even go? I mean, I've never seen those, but I can only imagine. Oh, the characters. Oh, no worries. So anyway, let's get back to Nicktoons for a second. But again, a lot of respect to South Park for being able to challenge. It's like you said, it's hard to do that nowadays. Like, it's really interesting. But anyway, let's go to. Yeah, now we're kind of into like all the stuff that we don't really know. Do you know anything? Do you recognize anything on here? Like, I'm trying to think.
Scanning.
This is hard.
I feel like I saw one. Wait. No, I'm pretty much like.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they all. I don't really know most of the rest of them.
Yep.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is we are going to put this entire group into the haven't seen it, because you have Grown Up Rugrats, you have Alvin and the Chipmunks, you have I guess the people from, I don't remember that one at all. I don't even know what that is. Big Nate.
No,
Nah, I'm just gonna.
no clue. Big Nate?
I've never heard of Big
What
Nate.
even? No.
I know.
Like what?
We're gonna move on. Mighty B.
Yep, nope. Like, what is
Let's see. Let's keep going. There's even a Paramount Plus show on here. Well, that doesn't quite
that? That's
count.
odd.
Yeah.
No.
There's a Kung Fu Panda show?
Oh, I knew that existed, but I haven't seen it. I have
Okay.
not. That came after my time. Ninja
Pine-
Turtles.
Yeah. I think the Ninja Turtle shows were good. I just don't. I don't have anything to say about it because I've never seen them. So
Same. Yeah.
yeah, I think this is reasonable. Pine says Rugrats All Grown Up sucked. That would make sense.
It did, man. It did, and it was unfortunate. It really was.
This is wild. There are like 5 Rugrats shows on here. Like this is.
I know. They really tried. I'm like, nah, dude, you can't compete with the original.
They really did.
They really tried.
Didn't happen. So we have Barbarian from one of the Trolls. See, this is getting kind of derivative now. They're just like making stuff from movies like Star Trek and Madagascar. Monsters vs. Aliens, the
Guys, you
TV
gotta
show?
try.
I remember that. Wow. And then Wayside, which seems like the most interesting of the shows visually. Kung Fu Panda was a good movie. Definitely a good movie, but apparently it was a TV show? I loved the movie. The movie was great. But anyway, that's our tier list, everybody.
Yeah.
So let's go review. I think the top tier is really well situated.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a part of my heart that wants to put Ren and Stimpy in this area, but I just can't.
I mean, I can compromise with you to bring down Real Monsters if you want, but I do love them. I'm surprised you left it at S. I thought you were gonna drop that way down.
Yeah,
And I was like, all right.
I mean, it was pretty overwhelming response from the chat, so I had to respect that. So I'll leave it where it is.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
So that's the S tier. I mean, it's very good. Like I think Rugrats and Doug and Hey Arnold are easy calls, easy slam dunks. And then,
100%.
and a lot of people voice support for Avatar, and I respect that too. The A tier is looking really nice. Kablam was great. I love Kablam. I love Kablam too.
Yep.
Rocko's Modern Life, Fairly Odd Parents are just solid, really funny shows. And Rocket Power is cool. It's interesting that Pine said that Rocket Power inspired him to skate. Like that's a show that leaves a mark. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. What did you say? Surf? I thought I saw surf.
Is there a surf? Let me see.
I thought SFX Pine said. Maybe I could have read it wrong.
I think it was
Everybody
skate,
knows.
but it could have been. I mean, maybe they were surfing too. I'm not sure, but
Both.
maybe both. Yeah. Jimmy Neutron, I think very reasonable putting it at A. I don't know it that well, so I can't really make an opinion on it. Like once the cartoon started going 3-dimensional, and like I think I stopped following Nicktoons. Like
Weirds me out, man.
yeah, for sure. So Teenage Robot, Cat Dog, Angry Beavers, these are fine. And Angry Beavers I might even put at C because it's kind of like it was good, but it was pretty funny. I thought it was all right, but and then SpongeBob again, very controversial. Very controversial.
Very controversial.
Very controversial.
Bob.
I mean, what do you do with that? Like it's really tough. Like
I saw that coming.
yeah. Cover Time Pete says Rocket Power was on at the perfect time. That's when all the Tony Hawk games came out.
True.
Yeah. Ink says the Penguins were the best. No, keep it. Cool. All of B except for SpongeBob deserves S tier. Ren would probably be the best choice. Ren and Stimpy would be the best choice out of that group because of, again, cultural significance, but I am pretty satisfied with where those are. I respect your opinion, though. I see where you're coming from on that. Definitely on Sponge. I mean, you even said SpongeBob doesn't deserve it, so it's like, it's just, you just can't. Like, it's just. Wait, is Mrs. Wait, what happened over here?
Oh, SpongeBob is the equivalent to Whippets. That just killed me. Oh man, that
Ren and F and Stimpy and S. Let's agree. Oh, that's interesting. I would never have considered dividing the two parts of Ren and Stimpy into different tiers. That's an interesting one, Joey. That's an interesting query. I don't know. Wait, SpongeBob is... I'm going to have to look up what whippets are. Okay. What?
It's like little CO2 cartridges. Like,
Oh.
yeah. It's like what Steve-O got hooked on.
Oh,
It's not like
man.
what he got hooked on,
Really?
it was exactly what he
Oh,
yeah,
jeez. Yikes.
Whippets.
That's gnarly if Steve-O got hooked on it. Oof.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. So you obviously you are quite familiar with Jackass, yeah? Like, that is quite a...
Familiar enough.
Mhm.
There's like, I've seen my fair share. Like,
Yeah.
yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just like Rocket Power, Jackass was a product of its time too, but it was quite a good time. It was fun times. It deprives your brain of yikes. Oof.
That's
Yeah. Well said. Okay, so C, Invader Zim and the Wild Thornberries. Interestingly, we have nothing for D. We didn't think anything was like not so bad, but not good enough to be C. So that's actually the most... I don't think I've ever had a tier list where there's nothing in a tier. This is the first time we've really had that happen on this show. And this is just me being spiteful with the Smurfs. Like, no.
just no. No, I'm with you. I mean, like, it was a waste. It was a waste.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I'm actually with Inked on this
Religion.
comment. I'd rather watch TV than F and SpongeBob. Yeah. SpongeBob could be D just so you have one. Yeah, it's okay. I think we do have to recognize the
You do.
the popularity, and it is very popular. It's a very popular character, and yeah. Okay.
It is.
All right.
It's huge.
We've done it. We've covered.
We did it.
That was an incredible... Thank you, everybody, for your participation in this tier list. And I know we've had a lot of debates tonight, but honestly, we really came to some common ground on a lot of these. And so thank you, everybody, for joining in. And Ink says, if I ever met SpongeBob in real life, I might actually do my dishes. What does that mean? It's interesting.
What does that mean?
What does that
I
mean?
love it.
Oh, he's probably gonna do the
use
dishes
him.
with SpongeBob. Like SpongeBob would be the thing that washes the dishes.
It's late where I am, and I did not pick up on that. That was funny, though. He's a sponge. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
that makes
like,
sense.
Yep.
Get it all
Yep.
soaped up and
That
slam
makes
it on a
perfect
plate.
sense.
I love it. Okay. Wicked says the way I needed that explained. I Wicked needed the explanation too. No worries.
Not alone.
So MVPeeps, I must do the sleep. Stan, you all have a lovely night and the good sleep. Thank you so much.
Good night, Peeps.
Peeps, I appreciate you.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
You are wonderful.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Peeps. It's really great to get to know you here on this channel. And we'll see. Hopefully, see you all again over at Chris Fox Music. And have rest well. LG Music says Bob Esponja pantalones cuadrados is how they call it in Spanish, and my wife cracks up every time I say that. That's funny.
Is that Bob Square? No.
Yeah, it's literally SpongeBob SquarePants.
Bob
it's like how
Sponge. Bob Sponge Pants Square.
Yeah, exactly. Cover Time Piece says, was Danny Phantom in the list? Yes. Danny Phantom was A. We ranked it as A. I did see you liked it as S tier, which I am good with, but I don't remember yeah. Oh, very much. Good to meet you too, Inked for Life. Let's go thank some folks in our chat, and then we'll go head on out someplace pretty cool. So thank you again, everyone. And Chris, I really want to thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Like, it's really great to get to know you and have some fun with Nicktoons too.
It was awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you
Absolutely.
to your community. Thank you to everybody who showed up, participated, everything. It was so much fun. Thank you.
Aw.
This is a great time.
You betcha, Chris. Let's go roll the credits. And we had a lot of really great hype tonight. And I do also want to thank you for the hype train, everybody, and all the subs tonight. So many subs. Like, thank you so much. thank you for the cheers, Clay Station and Island Vibing Presents. And the Rahomo King and Jamie, thank you for your help with modding tonight. Can we get some mod love in the chat, everybody? Exclamation point mod love. And thanks to all of you who followed us tonight. So many follows. I appreciate all of you for joining our community. And again, for all the gift subs. Look at all the cool gift subs tonight. Really, really great subs and gift subs. Thank you so much. So appreciate. Oh shoot, I think I may need to give some love to our friend Streamlabs, but nonetheless, I appreciate. Ink says, may I suggest a raid? Let's go to Chris for that idea. Chris, would you be interested in? Oh yeah, Jamie, thank you for the points. Thank you so much. Oh, good to see you too, Pete. Yeah. Well, certainly I'll look and see. I do know that name though, Ink. So we can put that into the list, Ink. So thank you very much for your nomination. But Chris, I would be certainly glad to entertain your suggestions too. Is there anywhere you feel would be a good spot to raid to?
That's a very good question. I am looking quickly.
Okay. And last call to contribute points to the community challenge too, everybody.
I've got, well, there's probably like, I don't know. There's an idea that we had, but I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. What kind of an idea is it?
It's potentially like a very synthy, crazy one, but I'm like,
wait.
guess-
It's okay. Let me see if I might have a feel for if it's someone I might already follow. Synthy Crazy.
yeah,
Are we saying Synthy Crazy and Loopy?
yes.
Are we saying Synthy Crazy and Loopy in Interesting Years?
Wait, what? And what was the last part?
Ears, like the ears are.
No. Oh, I know who you're thinking. Graceful Bard.
Yeah.
More like a cousin. I'm gonna say you. I think you pick. You know your crowd.
Okay,
I'm like
okay.
scared. I'm gonna suggest somebody, and then you're gonna go in there and be horrified and be like, oh no.
Well, for
Even though I
our
appreciate
group, let's see. I think we have some good choices tonight. Let's see. Let me go look at this and see what we got over here.
We do.
There's a lot of good choices. A lot of good people are on tonight. Let's go see who's doing the things. Oh gosh, it's been a fun night for sure. Let me see. Pete, do you have any thoughts on the suggestion that Ink made? It seems like a solid suggestion. What do you think? I do follow this person.
Of course, Pete knows.
Amaranth it is? Nah, I don't know that. I mean, one day we will do it. I'm not sure if this is the night. It will happen one
Pete
day.
introduced you to her.
One day we're gonna. Pete introduced me to her. Oh, of course. Right. Perfect then. Perfect. Okay. Maybe some 80s, perhaps, Pete. Perhaps that would be our direction. We could give it a shot. The Cynthia, the better, right? Yeah. Let's do it. We're gonna go. We're gonna head this way.
Somebody needs that as a name, Cynthia, but it's Synthia.
Oh, that's perfect.
And they just need to do 80s songs only. That's it. Have that.
That is such a good idea, Cynthia. Y'all on Twitch, somebody get out there and do a Cynthia channel. That is a great idea.
Take that.
I love it. That's your cousin also. Absolutely. Let's do it. Okay, so let's get the raid calls in the chat. Mods, if you'd be willing to do that honors for us. Raid calls in the chat. We are going to raid Lane Robles. And if you do not follow Lane Robles, I would love for you to do that, to follow our friend Lane Robles tonight and request all the 80s songs you can think of. I think the 80s the better. And then I'll do the same. So we'll be really glad to start the raid. Copy the raid calls. He has 156 80 songs. Oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't.
Wow.
That's a lot. Oh my god. Yeah, right, Mandy? Oh, can we give a shout out to Mandy Prater too? So thanks for hanging with us tonight, Mandy. I really appreciate you joining our show tonight. And y'all make sure to follow Mandy Prater too. Like, it's another phenomenal streamer.
She's amazing.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Mandy. And thank you, Chris. Like, it really was a great stream. Like, it's been really great hanging out with you. You're awesome tonight.
Thanks.
My thanks. All right, so we'll start the raid. Copy the raid calls. We're gonna make someone's day or someone's night tonight. We're gonna ease this thing up. All take care, everyone. We'll be back later in the week at some point. I'm thinking Wednesday we'll be back. But to all of you, I appreciate you. Chris, go follow Chris. Let me just put this in one more time for anyone who was just checking in. Chris Fox Music was our guest tonight. That's the link. Go follow Chris Fox Music, and the rest of us, and then we collectively will go hang out with Lane Robles. All the best, Chris. Much love, much respect, and thanks everybody. Well, I appreciate you so much, and it's just good to meet all of you. If you missed any part of it, last thing I'll say, check out the VOD. Yeah, the VOD will be here on this page, like right after we head out. And make sure to give Lane Robles a follow. Chris, all the best. Take care. Let's go see what this is all about. Take care, everybody. We're going to go hang out with Lane Robles. Bye for now. Let's go.
Love you all.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.